Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How we living, chat? How are we living? Everybody good? We good? Go ahead and kick this thing off right. I forgot to check the sound. Let me do this really quickly. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Good morning. 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 I hope everyone is having an amazing morning. Let's go ahead and get the TikToks in here. Good morning, Loss. Good morning, Heidi. Good morning, One Mighty Pen. You got a $10,000 dentist bill. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. A 10,000 American dollars? 10,000 American dollars? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Joanna. Good morning, Gratitude. Good morning, Lady Atlas. Good morning, Maddie. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Ryan. Hey, Ryan. Good morning, Jared. Good morning, Former. Let's get this thing kicked off. Your time is up. My time is now. Can't see me. My time is now. Franchising. I'm shining now. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Welcome in as we get in over on the TikTok. If you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. We have the daily gift goal, which are the chili peppers. Can we knock out the chili peppers, please? Please, please, please. Can we please knock out the chili peppers? If you're over on YouTube, hey, hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. It'll help boost the live and push us out and get more people in so we can get debates and all the good stuff going here. Let's get these guys in here. Boom, boom, boom. Go live. Okay. All right. Guys, if you don't mind, again, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Share the live maybe once or twice, but more than sharing the live, if you could, please, please, please share it to your stories. So if anyone starts scrolling through your stories, they'll actually see the live, but also repost it. Send your daily heart me. Of course, it's only one coin. It'll boost the live and push us out to the FYP. And when you send your daily heart me, though, hold on, let me do this. 1 second. When you send your daily heart me and you also make a comment in the comment section, make sure you go back in and claim your points. You get points. And so you have to go back up at the top where you sent your daily heart me, and you have to actually claim those points, and it adds you to the team. It's a whole thing. So make sure you're doing all the good things, right? There we go. We're going to go ahead and get started here, guys. Keep tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 10,000 likes. Also, we got 10 of the chili peppers left. Guys, can we please knock out the chili peppers? If we can keep knocking out the little 1 cent goals, that'll push us out to the FYP. So I'm going to keep resetting it if you guys can knock those out. So please, 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 can we knock out the chili peppers? Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are friendly, like I said, do all the wonderful things. Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. Knock out the daily gift goal. Share the live to your story and repost it to your FYP. And with that being said, guys, let's get it going.
Yeah, funny how it changed now. Same people that laughed at clips, studying the clips now. Everybody got opinions till the facts land. Everybody loud till they gotta take a stand. Every stream feel like somebody betting they pride. I seen fake scholars fold in real time. Now they screenshot takes, run around and remix it, and pull up thinking somehow they can fix it. Nah, you stepped in the wrong room, donut. This ain't rage bait, this pressure. Patriarchy, race, class, labor, healthcare. I don't do surface level, I peel layers. And every time they think they got me cornered, numbers go higher. Chat flyer mods work, a crowd waiting. Somebody finna get cooked tonight. Welcome to the ring now. Yeah. You talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down. Oh. Welcome to the ring now. Yeah. Got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Yeah. Welcome to the ring now. You ain't built for this smoke. Y'all slap nuts ain't got milk for these oats. Donuts, so pipe down. Yeah, you might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. I don't debate for applause, I debate for the record. Every false claim get dissected and severed. You rehearsed outrage, I studied the structure. Difference between noise and somebody with substance. You quote tweets, I quote policy. You want moments, I want honesty. You want ego boost and virality. I want mutual aid and stronger communities. That's the difference between you and me. See the problem? Different type timing. You came for clips, I came for alignment. Capital this, socialism that. Half these dudes can't define what they yelling in caps. Talking about free market while wages collapse. I watch your pivot arrive, I make it visible live. But this ain't never gonna be a place where evidence dies. You came all the way to be Santana for internet rep, while the whole chat waiting to see who got checked. Next, welcome to the ring now. Yeah. You talk big till the facts come out. Slap nuts, sit down. Oh. Welcome to the ring now. Yeah. Got the whole chat screaming when the logic break down. Yeah. Welcome to the ring now. You ain't built for this smoke. Y'all slap nuts ain't got milk for these oats. Donuts, so pipe down. Pipe down. You might drown. You don't want war with the king right now. Yeah. Welcome to Sparring with Santana. Bring your sources or bring excuses, whatever. Doesn't really matter either way. You're about to get cooked. You should know who I am by now.
Hey. What? Hey. Hey. Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, guys. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things, right? Tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me, knock out the daily gift goal, right? Right now, it's the little pink heart post. If we can continue to knock those out, it will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. So, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's see what the day brings. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
I'm 20. I'm not a Trump supporter, but I did send you a message. If you could look at it, that would be amazing.
Do you disagree? I do not. Okay. Guys, please respect the boundaries of the live. Please, please, please respect the boundaries of the live. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Oh, we lost this person as well. Oh, yeah, person dropped out. Okay. All right. I think there may be a little bit of a misconception, a little bit of a miscommunication. I think some people may have thought that, we were looking for someone to hang out or something. We're not. We're looking for some debate. So again, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. Thank you, guys. This is If you don't know, this is Porcus D Ace hat. This is Ace's hat. Yeah. I'm really about that fire fist life. I'm really about that fire fist life. Debbie's in the chat for Jeffrey for the $1 donation saying, I have a question. Do you have the chopper hat too? No, actually, I should get the chopper hat. I might do that today. I don't have the chopper hat, but I might get the chopper hat today. Oh, I think I'm gonna do that. Anyway, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are friendly, do all the wonderful things, tap the screen, share the live, knock out the daily gift goal. We only need 14 more pink heart puffs to close that out. So guys, if we can do that, that will help tremendously. Please. We got to talk about it, guys. We got to talk about it. The United States of America is a country that has declined, right? And the country that has declined is for a multitude of reasons. First and foremost, the Republican Party. Easy. Republican Party is absolutely the party of destruction. The Republican Party has, at this point, I don't even think this is a hot take. And I don't think this is like me inciting anything or blah, 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 blah. But at this point, is the Republican Party the enemy of the people? Like, I honestly feel like that's the position that they're taking. The Republican Party is vehemently in opposition of everyday Americans. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's just actually what it is. Anywho, capitalism. Capitalism is an absolute failure. Capitalism does not work for me. Capitalism does not work for you. Capitalism does not work unless you are part of the ultra wealthy. And I'm not talking, oh, I make 6 figures. I'm a high value man. Ooh, I make money, so I'm a high value man. I ain't got to have a personality, and women should listen to what I say because I'm a man and I make money. No, not that. Not that. Capitalism doesn't work as a whole, and it's time for us to shift towards socialism. That's the only way to benefit all Americans. We have to make that shift. Next, white supremacy and white privilege. White supremacy and white privilege, those are two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird. It's literally something that both of them require each other. You can't love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. You cannot have white privilege without white supremacy, and you can't have white supremacy without white privilege. And if anyone, for some reason tries to deny it, it's just a you problem. Like, it's literally just a you problem. Period. Next, the Iran war. Holy smokes. Again, it keeps getting worse each day that passes by. Like, I have never seen the United States of America take this big of a L. We have literally become the laughing stock of the entire globe, and we are at the absolute will of Iran. It's insane. It's insane. We got our teeth kicked in, and that's where we are now. Last but not least, FBA, BLAGA, Foundational Black Americans, Black MAGA, Black conservatives, Black Republicans, fucking Matt Nuclear. You're just ashamed of being black. You're literally just ashamed of being black. So, you said, Joshua, come up and tell me about it. You said Democrats mess up my island of Puerto Rico with promissory bills. So Dems have fault is also. Oh, you said also. Yeah, I'm not absolving Democrats at all. I thought you were saying just Democrats. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. I agree with you. It's like both of them. So regardless, or any black person that's willing to align themselves with like the Republican Party, stop it, Solid, stop it. Sabo is nice though. Sabo is absolutely nice. Any black person that's willing to align themselves with the Republican Party, you're just shameful, right? Anyone that calls themselves foundational Black Americans and you're looking to ostracize Black people across the diaspora, or diaspora, you're shameful. You're shameful to yourself. You're shameful to your ancestors, and like you're just ashamed of being black. So only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. One thing that I will say, so I started the 1619 project, right? And man, that book has given me a perspective that I did not have, and I'm just getting into it, right? But the one thing that I will say is, it's super interesting when they start talking about like the Revolutionary War and what was the actual igniter for the Revolutionary War, i.e., the colonies wanted to keep slavery. They wanted to keep slavery, and Britain was getting that up out of here, right? And the funny thing about the Revolutionary War and the Civil War is the way that Black people who were enslaved, Black people that were enslaved fled to fight for the British for freedom. And then in the Civil War, they fled to fight for the Union for freedom. Black people, throughout the history of us being in this country, shows that we don't necessarily have allegiance to one thing or the other. We only have allegiance to the progression and freedom and liberation, since we've never truly had that. And the whole idea of being like a Black Republican, Black conservative, FBA, it's completely antithetical to who we've been as a people. So anyway, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. KC Royalty said it smells like Frito corn chips. No. You're smelling yourself like that's your feet, bub. And I'm pretty sure you smell like wet dog. I'm going to send you a request. Come up here and tell me about it, KC Royalty. Come up here and tell me about it. Because if you smell Fritos, that's you. We smell like Tom Ford around here. You got us fucked up. We smell like Dior. We smell like Chanel. You got us all the way fucked up. You literally must think that it's you and your people that you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't think you would. Anyway, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, do all the wonderful things, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heartbeats. Hi, Tyler. Are you a Trump supporter?
Charlie Kirk. I love you, Santana.
Don't worry, I'm gonna block you.
This is actually like my first time being up here. I love you.
I just blocked you. I literally just blocked you. So there's that. Keithy B, thank you for the share, but we don't want to spam share, Keithy. We don't want to spam share. That's good. We're good with the shares. Thank you. I really appreciate the hell out of that, but you do not want to spam share. You only want to share the live maybe once or twice. I appreciate the hell out of you, but only share it once or twice. Anything outside of that actually, does not benefit the live. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I'm a Trump supporter and I disagree with a lot on the background.
Okay. Is this red? Red. Why'd you go quiet?
I'm a Trump supporter and I disagree with a lot on the background.
Is this red?
No, this is fun and games.
I know what your username is, but is this red? Come on. It's okay if it is. I just,
It's just fun and games.
All right, Red. I mean, if you back for another lumping, then you can get it. It's perfectly fine. Anyway, Red, you know how this one goes. Give me a second. Let me hit this intro and then we'll get into it, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, for anyone who may not know who I am or what this is, let's lock in. Don't worry, I got you. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly and you would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you, just like Evan. Evan just sent a $5 donation, just the love and no message. Evan, thank you so much for the $5. Or just like Josh sent a $5 donation saying, for learning and more, keep teaching. Thank you, Josh. That was in the chat for Evan and Josh for those donations. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right, Red. So did you come back specifically for something that you wanted to debate, or can I run something by you?
I came back for the capitalism. I want to speak on capitalism and why it's good for society as a whole.
Okay, floor is yours. Why do you think capitalism has been beneficial?
Capitalism is beneficial because it allows every man to earn their worth and not have to. Basically, what I believe as far as socialism, people who are begging and calling for socialism now, these are the failures in life. These are the people who can't provide for themselves and they're looking for government assistance. These are the welfare people. Socialism is just a form of welfare, and I believe capitalism it shows what you're worth. It shows it's competitive, and as men, as conquerors and warriors, we should be capitalism. We should embrace capitalism. And if you don't, you're like a mama's boy. You want somebody to put a pacifier in your mouth, because that's basically what socialism is. Every man should be able to earn his worth. If I'm worth more than you, I should be able to out earn you. I should be able to accrue all in my heart's desire. If I can work, create businesses and make it happen, then I should be able to have it without the government saying, well, you get this portion. And no, that's for poor people. You know, socialism is for like home. I feel like homeless people would only support socialism, not someone that gets up every day, whether they got a business or they go to work and they top earners. Like, it's not for them. Like, only a person that supports that. But I would like to hear what you got to say about it. I mean, that's my take on socialism, and I'm telling you, it's not capitalism is not destroying society at all, not the least bit. But I want to hear your take. You go ahead. I'll land my plane and go on mute.
Yeah, no, listen, I appreciate you, and I definitely want to hear you out. But one clarification question, if you don't mind. Can you tell me what socialism is? Brett?
Socialism is like where the government they divvies out pieces of the pie to everybody, and you can't really get ahead in society with socialism because everybody get paid the same thing. Everybody gets their portion of the government cheese. Like, that's socialism. It's government. It's welfare, basically.
Okay. Who taught you that?
What you mean, who taught me that? That's what it is.
Where did you get that information from?
I read it.
You read it where?
That's the gift. That's the gift of socialism.
You read it where?
I read it in books.
What book? Name it. Name the book.
Now, are we going to debate the topic, or do you want to know
we're
where I
going to
got
debate
my
the topic.
information?
It's just that I feel like someone has misled you, Red. You've been led astray, run amok. You've been bamboozled.
So is my definition of socialism wrong?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely wrong about what socialism is. That's not even close to what socialism is. Socialism is where the workers own a portion of the mean of production, right? So it's absolutely not government control. It's actually literally where the people have a stake in whatever that's being created, and they can earn specifically from the creation versus the resources being exploited by, like the people that can monopolize the resources. Is a little bit different. But that's like, that's it. It's so multi-layered. Like I know for a fact, if I tell you what true socialism is, then it'll break your brain and then you won't be able to get there. But I'm going to kind of slow walk with you. Do you know what the difference is between socialism and socialistic policies or socialistic programs?
No, I know what I just know what socialism is.
You don't know what socialism is, but do you know what socialistic policies or programs are?
Oh, let me ask you this: does Russia practice socialism?
No.
What does Russia practice?
It's an authoritarian. They have a dictatorship.
But as far as like their workforce, isn't that like a part of socialism?
No.
It's not? What would you call it?
I just told you they have an authoritarian dictatorial governmental system.
From my understanding, socialism is for, it's like where the government they pay everybody gets the same wages.
That's not socialism. That's not socialism. I'm telling you, you're wrong. That's why I said, that's why the question was, where did you get this information from? Because someone has actually misinformed you. And even when you talk about Russia or you talk about China,
I know what capitalism is.
Maybe, but I'm not disputing your stance on capitalism just yet. I'm disputing your stance on socialism. Even when you talk about like, communism in China, like China isn't a communist state. Like that's not what it truly is. There's a bunch of different differences, but what you were trying to refer to is like socialist policies and like a socialist governmental system where there's social safety nets, like programs that ensure that the people are taken care of. That's what you were trying to refer to. That's not actually socialism, but the idea of ensuring that people have safety nets and they have a floor. That's the premise that you're talking about.
Well, you're totally correct, because that is what I was referring to. So maybe I was wrong, but I wasn't completely wrong.
No, so you were absolutely wrong, because you still don't truly understand any of these things, but it's fine. We'll talk about it. Red, you said the premise of, as far as like capitalism, it's basically capitalism tests the steel of a man, right? It allows you to go out and obtain your worth, and you're able to actually progress is equivalent to the way that you're willing to work. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So do you think that anyone can be as successful as anyone else in our country?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you think anyone could be a billionaire or even a trillionaire like Elon Musk?
Yes, sir.
How?
That's for them to figure out, but yes, sir.
No. Tell me how. I'm not saying like on an individual basis. Tell me how an everyday person like you or I can actually go through the process of becoming a billionaire or a trillionaire. Not giving me the specific roadmap, but just mile markers that we can that are achievable.
We live in an age right now where it's so easy to become a million or a bit. You could create a program. You could create an app. You could. I mean, it's a multitude of ways to get. It's so easy to get money these days. Like I don't like. I feel like if you broke, you deserve to be broke, and you deserve to be like broke people deserve to be broke. No, what? I mean, goddamn, if that's so, everybody ain't broke. I ain't broke.
You don't think you are?
Everybody broke. Fuck no, I'm not broke.
What's your net worth?
That's none of your goddamn business. But I'm not broke.
Why are you? Whoa, Red. Why are you getting so
because
sensitive?
you called me broke.
I did.
Because I despise even saying. I despise that word.
I hear
feel
you.
like that's
I
like the lowest form of.
I hear you, Red.
Yes,
question
sir.
for you.
Yes, sir.
Question for you. Just the baseline. And you don't have to give me specific numbers, but ballpark it. How much do you make a year?
Right now, I'm looking at a little bit under $500,000.
Okay, so you make less than 500,000 a year
right now, but
okay.
my network is steady growing.
Okay, what does your portfolio look like? Do you own property? Do you own stocks? Are you invested in like IRAs, long-term, short-term investments? What do you got?
I own businesses, but now we're getting really personal.
No.
And
I don't want to know like I don't want to know like specifically what you own. I just want to know like what does your portfolio look like in general?
Well, I own one truck. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna lie and say I own trucks. I own one truck. Right. I own businesses. I'm a writer. I have books that I promote and constantly sell on Amazon.
Right, I hear you, but that's not your stock portfolio. What is your? I'm sorry, not your stock, but that's not your portfolio. What does your portfolio consist of? Like what makes you money when you're not actually working?
I'm telling you. My publication business. I have a publication business. That actually this new profile picture. That's copyrighted. That's my logo. That's for my publication, new publications. Never enough winning. That's for my books make money when I'm not working. They sell when I'm not even doing
okay. So
nothing.
are you a New York bestseller? What is your publishing rights? Like I'm not again. I don't want to know numbers, but I just want to know like how have the book sales been going?
Great. They're going great, but it varies from time to time. When I start marketing Where the Unforgettable Dies by Calvin King, The Truth to the Youth by Calvin King.
Let's see here. 2023 urban fictional novel written. Let's see here. This is available on Amazon.
But my thing is, we came up here to talk about socialism and capitalism, and you worried about like what my network is. Like what are we discussing
net worth,
here?
Not network. The point that I'm trying to get across to you, because you seem to believe as if you are someone that overall has been like super successful within capitalism. Holy shit. Have you looked at your book rankings?
It doesn't matter. No, I haven't. What is my rankings on my book? What is it? Tell me.
You're ranked number 8,663,799.
Yeah, it's millions of books. It's millions of books, and yeah, I can agree. It probably is. I mean, what does that mean? It's millions of books.
In urban fiction, in urban fiction, you're number 18,062.
Okay, what is that?
The point that I'm trying to get across. The point that I'm trying to get across is, and I'm not trying to downplay like the things that you're doing, because obviously you're working extremely hard. Like I'm not knocking that. The point that I am trying to get across though is, even with you like saying, I mean, the idea and like the premise of selling books, that's an amazing idea as far as passive income. But making under $500,000 a year, you're not even considered the top 1%. Like you're literally someone who is.
Of course, I'm not the top 1%. The top 1%. I'm not even. Listen.
I'm going to finish what I'm saying, Cal.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. What I'm trying to say is that like you are part of the actual proletariat, part of the class is being exploited. And now I know you talked about like having a truck. I mean, I understand that like driving trucks is pretty lucrative, right? I get that portion, but like, you know how it goes. Like you got to have insurance. If something happens with your insurance, you have an accident, your truck breaks down, like that shuts down everything. And that makes you someone that is still subjective to the whims of capitalism, right? I mean, you're still someone that's in a position where if the market starts to slow, if you don't have deliveries, if there's like the tariffs, right? The fact that the tariffs can actually slow the transportation of products across the country, like then the demand for your services start to decline. And with that being said, even if you think that you're making money, I'm not saying that you're not making money. I am, though, saying that you are not someone that is actually benefiting from capitalism. You are still a part of the exploited class, even though you got a few dollars in your pocket.
I'm not benefiting from capitalism. I just made up something in my mind, put it on paper, and sold it. But hold on, go on Instagram and type in Scrub and Spray 360. This is my pressure washing business and my window cleaning business. You'll see me with the people that I employ on there. Go on Instagram, type in Scrub and Spray 360, and that's not include my Shopify store. You know what I'm saying? My print, like I'm got shit going on, but like to say that I don't benefit. No, I'm not.
What happens?
Go ahead.
What happens when people can't patronize your business?
Well, we need people for business, period.
Right.
If you don't have people dealing with your business, then you fail.
Right.
That's anybody in the world.
Right. I agree.
That's Walmart.
What happens when people can no longer afford luxury items, which include books or like Shop and Spray?
Well, people have to have those restaurant vents. They have to have those cleaned every quarterly. They got to have those clean quarterly. That's like a mandatory.
What if they actually can't afford that
and
they actually make the decision to try to do it in-house to cut costs?
Well, I mean, like it's always people that can afford it. We're not gonna sit here and say, hey, one day your business, no one is gonna buy from you. Like it's always people that will deal with you. Like
isn't that how a lot of
people,
businesses go out of business? Because the actual consumer base, either they enjoy the product but they can't afford the product, or they have to make cost cuts to luxury items.
I hear you, but I haven't seen it. Until it happens to me, then but I'm also my next endeavor, I'm finna try to get a loan to do it. I can do it outright, but I don't want to spend all that money. But I'm finna open up a laundromat.
Laundromat's a really good source of passive income. Let's stick here though, right?
Yeah.
The question that I have for you, have you been paying attention what's been happening with the cost of living versus the wages earned in the US?
Right. Those are for people who work regular jobs. The cost of living is turning their ass up.
Yeah.
That's hurting them. I mean, we see it, but it's not affecting us, bro. Like,
I think you're missing what I'm saying, Red. I think you're missing what I'm saying. We've already established that you need people in order for your business to be successful, right?
Right.
And if people have less disposable income because the cost of living is skyrocketing and wages, while increasing, wages are being outpaced by the cost of living. So meaning people have less money to spend because things are more expensive. And you put on top of the fact that like people have less access to healthcare. The passing the One Big Beautiful Bill kicked 17 million people off of healthcare, but also what that did was raise the healthcare premiums for all Americans. So we're spending more on healthcare now. That's less disposable income. So Red, the point that I'm trying to make is even though you're in a position to have profits, you are still subject to the whims of capitalism, because if the people that you are depending on to purchase your services and products are unable to purchase your services and products because they need to make a decision between paying bills or feeding their family versus being able to purchase another book or being able to purchase your service to clean their restaurant, then you're affected in that negative sense, and other people are hurting around you, Red. That's going to catch up to you.
I hear what you're saying, but like in my pressure washing and window cleaning business, I get contracts, and I also only target rich people. I don't deal with poor people in that business. I target rich people, but I do understand what you're saying.
That's interesting, Red.
Yeah.
Red, I want to shoot down the premise that you had as far as like, oh, anyone can be a billionaire or trillionaire and all this other stuff. But like, honestly, I think I would rather allow Solid to have the conversation with you now, because you and I have talked for the last couple of days in a row. I have some specific thoughts that I don't think even the things that I'm going to be able to share with you is necessarily going to penetrate at the moment. But maybe Solid can get across like some of the ideas that need to be conveyed. What up, Solid?
Here, you can hear me all right?
Yep, you good.
Okay, what's the capitalism is a failure, time for socialism? Yeah, W. Capitalism is a failure specifically because it cannibalizes itself.
Mm-hmm.
Do you disagree with that, Reggie?
FYI, I'm more than positive he doesn't know what that means. Red, Solid's talking to you.
Hey, what's up? What'd you say? Do I agree with what? I heard you saying something. I thought you was talking to the host.
Capitalism cannibalizes itself.
Does it cannibalize itself? That means to eat yourself. That means to eat. Cannibalism actually means to eat people. So does capitalism eat people? Hey, I don't see it eating people. I've never seen how a business model could eat someone. So no, I disagree.
Yeah, it eats people.
I disagree. Can you explain
so you don't
how?
think capitalism eats people?
No, sir. Can you explain how?
Okay. Why do prisoners work?
Because they lost their what's their amendment where they become slaves.
Okay,
that's why they
slavery.
work. Because they're slaves.
Making people property and then having them work for free and not be allowed to leave.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Capitalism eats people.
Capitalism doesn't make you a slave.
What does?
Your ability not to be able to think outside the box makes you a slave to corporations, and you go on their jobs and you work these 9 to 5s until your back is broke. That's what makes you a slave. Your ability not to be able to create
anything you're proving my point.
Makes you a slave.
That further supports my point.
Well, no, that's not everybody. Those are individual people. You have people that can't think outside the box. So yeah, they're gonna become you either create
What's
or you
the ratio between business owners and employees?
I don't know and I don't care. But all I'm saying is that doesn't apply to everybody.
We're not gonna move on until you give me an answer.
I'm telling you, I just told you. I gave you an answer, sir. I don't know. And I don't care.
Okay.
No, sir.
Are there more workers than there are business owners?
Of course, because the school creates kids to be workers. It tells them they need to get a job, work. Yeah, the school creates that.
Okie dokie. So then you're telling me that more people are stupid or not innovative.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you're telling me this is a product of the education system.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the education system is the way it is because why?
Because the Rockefellers, they and that other whatever the other guy name is, they designed it that way so they could have more slaves.
All right, you've proved my point. Thank you.
Right, but I'm in agreement with them. I feel like I need more people to work for me. I want them to work for pennies on a dollar. I want to pay them like $4 an hour. Like hell yeah. If you want to build my dream and you don't go pursue your own dream, then yeah, I'll hire you to help me build my dream. Of course, yeah, sure.
But Reggie.
No, my name is not Reggie. My name is Calvin.
Okay, Calvin, your book is bad.
Or you can call me Dirty Red.
Okay, your book is bad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, nobody's buying it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okie dokie. Your Shopify has come to a screeching halt.
Okay.
All right. You're not making money.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go get you a job.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
You're not?
No. I'll find
No, that's not true.
I'll find something else to do.
You find something else to do? Like what?
I'm gonna tell you, hold on. I'm gonna tell you, you okay, those can stop. The nation won't stop moving. The capitalist, the people that y'all speak upon, I could go get another truck tomorrow, but I don't feel like going to mess with the FMCS own authority. And that's another thing. I'm not gonna cap to you guys. I'm up under my homeboy's authority. I got my own truck, but I'm up under somebody else's authority because I haven't went and did the FMCSA thing yet. Yeah, but I can do that immediately if I wanted to. But I'm cool with what this truck is bringing right now. But what I'm saying is, trucking is never gonna stop. You can say, yeah, my book sales can stop, my pressure washing business can stop, Shopify can stop.
That's right.
This trucking will forever move on. And I got a CDL.
A CDL.
So I will always
do me a favor.
A CDL.
Wait, Red, you know that.
A CDL.
Red, you know that's not true. You literally know that's not true. Like, as someone who absolutely has, you said that the trucking business will always continue. You know that's not true, because we literally just talked about, not only is like the cost, I'm about to break it down. Not only is the cost of being an actual trucker, owning your own truck while also managing your own insurance is an exponential cost. If you are involved in any type of accident and you're found to be at fault, that's a game changer. Like, that's one of the most dangerous parts about being a driver, especially having a truck under your own umbrella. Like, one of my MBAs is in supply chain management and logistics. I used to work for one of the largest logistical movers in the United States of America, right? And I've also actually planned out logistics between North America and South America, right? And I'm sorry, not North America. God dang it. Through all of North America, Canada, US, and Mexico.
Right.
I understand like what it looks like in order to be able to complete this type of work. And Red, I'm telling you, one bad day and you're fucked. Like, that's why a lot of people who do have their CDLs and have the ability to even purchase a truck don't do it, because it's such a dangerous risk to them. So that's not true.
No, we don't do it because the insurance bop you upside the head. That's the only thing that that's the only thing. The only reason why I haven't went and got my FMCSA, because I'm just sitting back. I'm running under somebody else's authority, which means I'm up under their insurance and stuff. And I also have to give them part of my pay, but it's a small percentage. But the thing is, you can once you get past that initial initial payments, then and get your trucks up and running, and you catch a lane, then it's not nothing anymore. But that is what.
How's your grid books look?
How does my grid books?
Yeah, your grid logs. Are you always DOT compliant?
Oh yeah, I gotta be DOT
at compliant all times.
I'm DOT compliant, and I got a ELD.
Okay. We know for a fact that the DOT regulations change a lot as well, right? I mean, I think you and I can both agree that sometimes the way that they monitor people, especially with like long haul, is unreasonable. And like, that's another thing as well. Like, I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying that you're not in a lucrative spot, because you are. I mean, I understand how lucrative it can be, but it's a high risk, high reward type of situation. And for you to sit here and pretend as if this is something that's gonna, like, that's why I talked about like your portfolio. Like, while your book may not be doing numbers, I think your book is more sustainable than trying to continue to like have your trucking business, because again, your trucking business is going to be more reliant on what's happening. You can't be on camera and driving. What are you doing, Red? You know better than that.
Bad.
Your actual I'm gonna have to drop you. Take a lap, wait just a few minutes, and then you can come back. You cannot do that. Holy smokes. You can't do that. Solid.
I just got a couple questions for him.
Yeah, okay. Let's give him just a second and then we'll get him back up here. But come on, you can't do that. W's in the chat for Jillian for the $1 donation saying, I see you like One Piece, and I want to get in. I want to get into it, but there's just so many episodes. I just asked my partner what character he'd be, and he said, "Wait, what? Oh, what character you would be?" And he said you would be Boa Hancock. Okay, I see you, Hancock. W's in the chat for Jocelyn for the $1 donation, saying, "Holy yapper." Yep. That's right. W's in the chat for Manders for the $1 donation, saying this guy is simping for the class he is not in and has shown zero cares about those with less than him. It's gross. Yeah, and I don't understand that. I don't understand how people who are part of the have-nots for some reason defend the have so hard. It's crazy. W's in chat for Stacy for the $5 donation, saying guess has a lot to do to make a lot broke. Exactly. W's in the chat for Jahan for the $10 donation, saying nice hat. Do you watch One Piece? Of course. That's the entire thing about the hat. W's in the chat for that. W's in the chat for ET Phone Prank for the $5 super chat to say our lifespan as humans on this earth will be shortened due to capitalism. Miss us with that BS caller. Like, facts. Life is not just about fucking working. And like other countries have figured that out, but here in the United States, we're driven so much by capitalism that we're blinded by the idea of like living without having to like slave away. It's fucking weird. W's in the chat for Escape the Win, who resubscribed over on YouTube, and you've been subscribed for 3 months. W's in the chat, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. 1.1 thousand people hanging out, guys. Keep tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 150,000 likes. Also, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. We are on our way to 200,000 followers. We only got 14 new followers on the stream, so please hit that follow button. Turn on notifications so you know when we go live, because we go live all the time. And make sure we take care of Solid while he's up here. Show Solid some love. Last but not least, there was someone that was talking shit in the comment section, and I was trying my damnedest to talk shit back, but my words kept getting filtered out. I'm gonna have to figure out what words were filtered, but I finally ended up tagging them. I got fucking smoked with someone who was talking shit, and like Solid, I'm sure he's one of your people, but he's gonna catch like I know he's gone. I sent him an invite, he didn't accept it, but I'm hot. Anyway, floor is yours. You got it.
You one of mine?
I know for a fact. Old boy's name, his username is Kami Combat Vet.
Ain't no way.
The one following me.
You can't be mine. I don't know.
Oh boy, I'm telling you.
The only ones that talk trash for real is like Noah.
Yeah, and I mean, like I know a bunch of people. They know what I'm about. Yeah. But like I wait till
that's our nibbling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, back to your debate.
Okie doke. Okay, so we gotta lay this out, okay? What is it about capitalism that makes it superior to socialism? I just want to clarify. Yeah, we talking about you nibbling?
You're asking me that, sir?
Yes.
Capitalism is because a man is worth his weight. Like I like I explained at the beginning. Like if I'm able to acquire a lot, and I'm able to do a lot, and if my worth grows, then my pocket should grow, and I shouldn't have to be subjected to we all just get our slice. And because I believe that stunts your growth. It stunts creativeness. Socialism stunts your growth. It stunts your creativeness. It just makes you docile. Like it's not competitive at all.
Okay.
My ideal of socialism.
What is it about socialism that stunts your growth?
We're gonna give you that give me.
We're gonna give you. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna give you attitude. Or the government's gonna give me this, and they're gonna make sure that I have this. And like
capitalism just means you're worth your weight.
Right, you get paid by your work.
None of these are okay. So how does capitalism ensure that someone worth their weight gets their just dues?
Are you finished?
Yeah. How does capitalism ensure that someone worth their
question.
weight gets their just due?
No, I didn't hear. Why is he whispering? What? Say that shit again. What you say?
No, Red. Not everyone is loud like you. Like literally, that's you two are diametrically opposed because you are very loud and Solid's very quiet, but that's his personality. He's not whispering. That's just how he talks. We don't all yell.
Okay, he say, why is capitalism? Say it again, sir, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah. How does capitalism ensure that the person who's worth their weight gets their just due?
I mean, is that a rhetorical question?
No.
Even if it was, you could give a rhetorical answer.
Right. Well, the thing is, I mean, if I go out here and I create a lot of stuff that's worth a lot, then I get paid a lot. It's simple. Like I don't want. It seems weird.
I'm still confused. How does that work? How does capitalism make that happen?
Because I get to capitalize off my creativity. I get to capitalize off my businesses, and it brings me money.
Bud.
Yeah,
How does capitalism
confused.
do that?
Shit, I don't know what kind of answer you want from me.
How does capitalism ensure that even the people are able to achieve equal value for equal worth?
No, I didn't say it's equal value because everybody's not equal. No, it doesn't ensure
No, Red. We're not talking about equal from person to person. Equal in the sense of their value equal their earnings, meaning whatever work and effort and energy that they put in, that they get equal returns on that. How does capitalism ensure that?
I mean, because you get to set your price for whatever your deed is. You get to set your, like me. I get to say, hey, I want this much for this book. I get to say, hey, I want this much for cleaning these windows.
No.
That's it. Like I'm not on. If that's not answer your question, I don't know. I'm lost. If I can't make my price, then that's not capitalism. That's like socialism. If I can't make my price,
that's also
if I can't say, hey, well,
I've already told you that's not socialism. Stop saying that. We've already verified that you didn't know what socialism was, and that's not how it works. So stop trying to equate the two. Stick to capitalism. You don't know socialism. You don't know any of those other things. Stick to capitalism.
Is that not a part of socialism? No. Did you not tell me that was a part of socialism?
No.
See, I can't get Google out right now because I'm in the midst of doing something. But I could have swore that was
to Google it anyway. But
I could have sworn that's what socialism is.
No.
Can you just tell me the main motivation for? You know what? Let's start with the basics. Can you tell me any of the 4 goals of any market system?
The 4 goals of any market system.
Mm-hmm. What do economies want to accomplish? What do they want to figure out?
They want to market. They want to profit, and they want to use as less overhead as they can to accrue more money.
No,
that's the gist of it. That's my gift to my economy. I can't speak on. I don't know your economy or what you talking about, because it seemed like me and you talking about 2 different things.
No, yeah, that's incorrect. Any market system wants to answer 4 questions. They want to find out what to produce, how much to produce,
and who's gonna consume.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't finished. There's 4.
Hey, would you like for him to actually finish before you start speaking, Red?
Yeah, go ahead. I apologize.
Yeah, they want to find out what to produce, how much to produce, for whom to produce, and who should do the production. Right?
Right. I agree. Totally.
Okay. So the differences between why capitalism produces and why socialism produces are very different, though. Can you tell me the difference between the why between the 2 market systems?
I would like. Could you explain it? I would prefer you to explain it, sir.
I absolutely will. It's not a problem. I just don't know how one can make the assessment that socialism is for poor people or failures without knowing.
Well, so he thought that socialism was based on the premise of the government controlling things and giving hands out and bread lines and shit like that. And he just didn't know. So he came into this with a skewed understanding, and for some reason he's still holding to it, even though I've corrected it.
Okay, I'll lay it out for you. Capitalism produces for profit, right? Socialism produces for need. Yeah, make sure that people's needs are met. If we're talking about being healthy economically, that doesn't necessarily, it doesn't hinder anybody for a market system to ensure that people have what they need.
Yes, it does, because I feel like you should work for what you need.
It literally
the government
doesn't.
shouldn't step in. The government shouldn't have to step in and give you what you need. If you don't have it, you don't need it. If you don't have a roof over your head, you don't need it. If you don't have food, you don't need to eat.
Hey, Red.
If you don't have food, you don't need to eat.
Red, what's the point of the government and us paying taxes then? If the government isn't in place to ensure the well-being of their people, what's the point of us having a government and paying taxes?
Well, the taxes is to ensure that we can travel up and down the roads, that the roads stay fixed. It's for infrastructure. But I understand the tax money goes to different things.
Is that a part of like ensuring the well-being of the people?
I can.
Yes.
Kind of, sort of, but not really. It's not on a personal level. It's not on a I'm gonna say it's not on a personal level, because my thing is this: if you can't feed yourself, you don't need to eat. If you don't have
feed yourself,
transportation,
you don't need to eat.
Hey, Red, what about kids?
Eat or starve.
Red, what about kids?
So children.
What about kids?
If their parents can't.
No. Lock in, Red. Lock in, Red. What about kids?
I'm locked in. What about them?
Should kids not eat if they can't actually work?
Well, I can make an exception for the kids.
Okay, cool.
And say,
make an exception for the kids.
Okay, what about elderly, like people that have spent their life working and building and making the world better, or whatever the case may be, but they no longer are physically able? What about the elderly?
Well, I agree with what's it called, Social Security? I agree.
That's not the question. That's not the question.
So
I'm saying, does the elderly fall into your premise of if you don't work, you can't eat, or if you can't afford to eat, then you shouldn't eat?
That's a hard one, because I feel like they should be done saved enough money and had their
That's not
kids
the question.
to be there
the elderly people who have been a benefit to society their entire lives, who can no longer have the ability to actually add to society in the sense of generating revenue, should they no longer be able to eat if they can't actually make money?
I'm thinking. Let me think about it. I don't. Let me see.
Oh. I got one more question, and then we'll. Then I'll drop down.
It's fine. Like, go ahead, Solid.
Yeah. Do you believe that people should be unimpeded in their work? Like they should be allowed to meet their full potential?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. What if I told you that's what socialism is all about?
I don't believe it's all about that. I believe y'all sitting here trying to tell me
you've been fed a bunch of Red Scare propaganda. You've been indoctrinated by Reagan. Of course you don't believe that. because someone lied to you.
Well, I don't have my other device. Well, I got it, but I can't use it. So I don't know if you guys are lying to me. So
Socialism is all about the workers being able to do good work, meaningful work.
But why should we have a system to say that they should be able to do it? If they can do it, they can do it. We don't need a system in place to say,
that's the problem.
Well, they can do meaningful work.
That's the problem. Employers prevent employees from doing their best work.
Well, then they shouldn't be employees. They should go make their own business. If they that good at their job.
So your answer is that everyone should own all the stuff that it takes to do their job and just be a business unto themselves?
That's not my whole answer, but I believe we do need workers. We do need sheep. Right.
So,
we need sheep.
But you're saying that if the employee is not living up to their full potential, if they're being what's the word? Not stipend, stifled. If they're being stifled, right?
They should leave.
They should leave and go get their own stuff,
or find another job
that it takes to make it to do a good job, right?
Or find another job. I don't want to be somewhere I'm not wanted. I won't be somewhere I'm not wanted.
Right. So you should just start your own business, right?
Of course, right. Or find another job. Or find another job.
So then all the workers. Well, I mean, it's inevitable. Employers are going to stifle workers.
Well, if it's inevitable, why are y'all trying to put a system in place to stop something that's going to happen?
Oh, well,
that doesn't make sense.
If it's inevitable, it's not inevitable under socialism. It's inevitable under capitalism.
But that's why I can't agree with socialism, because you're trying to tell the boss what to do, what he can and can't do with his own business. Yes, it is.
That's not what I'm doing. No, it's not.
Yes, exactly what you're doing.
No, it's not. I'm trying to say that I want everybody to be the boss.
No, everybody can't be the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy. Y'all okay, so you saying socialism. So if I got this business, so they should be able to have a say-so in my business? Get the hell out of here.
No. They should
what
have
are you
a say-so
saying?
in their business.
What are you saying?
Have a say-so in their business.
What is socialism saying? How can y'all get it? How are y'all going to get it?
Hey, Red.
Go ahead.
Hey, Red.
Go ahead.
Hey, Red. Just because you're louder doesn't make you right. Please stop.
Socialism says that the workers should own the means of production. It gives them more autonomy and more ways to defend themselves against exploitation.
Oh, no. Hell no.
Oh, no. Hell no, boy. Y'all done up and done it?
For real. Yeah, y'all don't know. Y'all trying to up and do it. That's why this shit have never passed.
What's wrong with that?
It's a lot wrong with that.
Okay.
You have no say-so. You have no say-so over nothing I create. If I tell you, hey, I need you to
wait, that's what I'm advocating for.
No, you don't need no say-so.
I'm advocating for not having any say-so over what you create. Sounds like you're a socialist, Red.
We can't hear you, Red. We can't hear you. Hey guys, you're gonna see the screen go black for a second. I'm trying to refocus the camera, but Solid and Red are still here. Red, we can't hear you.
Can y'all hear me now?
Hey, brother, I think I did my thing. I'm gonna go back to work for my employer. All power to all the people except for Ralph. Do something good for your neighbor. Ubuntu, Viva la raza, Kachi Kapsida, throw more bricks.
W's in the chat for Solid. W's in the chat for Solid.
I didn't how did he get a W in the chat? He didn't say nothing. He said a bunch of bullshit. How did he get W's in the chat?
Well, just because you don't understand the Red doesn't mean that he said quote unquote a bunch of bullshit. Like the thing is, for some reason it feels like you're missing the intellectual threshold in order to be able to engage. And I don't think it's just the intellectual threshold. I do think that you're morally bankrupt, and your inability to actually show empathy for people is astounding. Like you're literally, it's interesting to see you simp for people who wouldn't piss on fire just to put, or if you were on fire, wouldn't piss on it to put you out. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. Like I want better for you, Red. Like specifically me, I want
and you feel like I'm
have a better
simping?
life. Yeah, like it's super weird to see you caping for the ultra wealthy.
No, I'm caping for business owners. I'm caping for people who have a mind that know how to think outside the box.
You're literally caping for people that are exploiting you as well. Like you feel like you're not being exploited, and I hear you. Like even, you know, they always kept a few in the house, Red. They always kept a few in the house. Give me a second. W's in the chat for Justine for the $5 donation saying, just quit my high-paying job and move to a farm to stop buying in. Literally, like, listen, people are just moving off the grid. I don't blame you. And Deb's in chat for Patricia for the $5 donation saying, I'm trying to donate to Solid, but I guess I'm blocked. I've never spoken in his chat. I don't know about that, Patricia. But you have to donate to his Cash App. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. Welcome in, Peach Raid. Hello, Peach Raid.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Peach Raid. 1 second. W's in the chat for tip for the $5 donation saying, X Red, is he okay with billionaires and corporations getting socialism since he's against it? Ooh, that's a good question. We'll get to that in a second. Okay. Yep. We'll get to that in just a second. W's in the chat for Avocado for the $2 donation saying, I know this is delusion. Donut is not looking down on other people who aren't on their own boss while being an employee his damn self. Ain't no way. His thought process must be studied. Also, W Feisty, wishing them well. Absolutely. W's in the chat. And yes, sending so much love to Feisty. And it's super interesting that he's taking that position. But yeah, similar to what he's taking. W's in the chat for 1B Carry for the $5 super chat to say, so according to him, he's more valuable than unhoused veterans. I was literally going there. Like I wanted to get there, but he couldn't get past the premise of whether or not like the elderly should be able to eat. W's in the chat as well over on Twitch for One Mighty Pen for the one share bit to say, if it's so easy to become a millionaire, why isn't he the guest a millionaire yet? You know, he's still working on it.
I'm on my way.
He's on his way.
I'm on my way.
He's on his way, chat. He's on his way. W's in the chat for Brandon for the $5 super chat to say, Santana, how do you feel about the KOTR tourney? King of the Ring. Did WWE cook? So, or is creative still dog doo-doo? I haven't seen much about it, but I listen to Wrestle Talk every day, and from what I've heard about the tournament, it's ass. It's ass. W's in the chat for all the donuts, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out, guys. Keep tapping the screen. Share the live. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to, holy smoke, we're not even at 100,000 likes, chat. What are we doing? Lock in. Lock in. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 150,000 likes. Also, keep knocking out the daily gift goal. It's the Rosas, and make sure you hit that follow button. If you're over on YouTube, you can give it a thumbs up. All right, Red, you still there?
Yes, sir.
All right. So just to kind of baseline this, give me your entire argument as far as why we need to focus on capitalism. Don't worry about socialism. We've already established that you don't know what socialism is, but give me your entire argument as far as why capitalism is good and we should focus on capitalism.
Capitalism is good because it weeds out the weak, and the weak gonna get ate, and the strong will be here to survive. That's why you have people opting out, saying, "Oh, I'm getting out, I'm leaving off the grid," because they can't compete. They're weak. Those are the weaklings of society. They can't make it, and so it shows the competitive nature of men. You know, it's just all it's masculine. It's a masculine thing. Capitalism is a masculine thing, and only masculine people would understand that. And the effeminate the effeminate weaks, they are straight towards socialism and saying, well, we need a hand or someone needs to help us. But that's the gist of it.
The gist of it, not the gist of it.
that's the every man should be able to earn his own wage and make his own wage. Like you should be able to, if you put in work, you don't it's a saying, it say if you don't grind, you don't shine. If you don't work, you don't eat.
Red, I'm right there with you. I agree with you, Red. I agree with you. Dub's in the chat for equity for the $4.99 super chat to say Red thinks he's the boss when he's literally slaving in 5 different hustles. Doubt he even owns his own truck. God bless Red. Dub's in the chat. Thank you for that super chat. Red, I agree with you. Right? Every man should be able to actually sustain himself with his grind. Red, you're right. Capitalism, it's an equal litmus test for everyone. We can agree on that one, right, Red?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm so glad that you said that, because now here is the litmus test for you. Red, we got a bounty, right? 150. What happens from this point is we're going to match your grind against the chat's capitalism. And the way that it works is moving forward, I'm not going to mute you. We're just going to have an all-out debate. And the chat is going to have the ability to express their pleasure or displeasure via capitalism, right? So if they want you gone, if they want to get you up out the paint, then guess what, Red? They're going to hit the pay links, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links, and Linktree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Sorry, YouTube, but it has to go through the pay link. Santana speaks for you is how we add to the kick fund. Red, the only thing that you have to do is out debate me in a substance way using facts, information. Don't antagonize the chat, and just show how good you are at defending capitalism, and you can stay. But if they want you gone, Red, they're going to get you up out the paint. So let's start here. Your entire premise of capitalism being something that is marked by masculinity speaks to the fact that you have so much misogyny that you need to unpack. The idea that an economic practice is somehow linked to masculinity versus femininity, like that's a whole thing. So are you saying that women are unable to compete in job markets, whether it's with earnings or actually being contributors to the job market?
That is not what I'm saying.
Well, but you literally just said that it shows how, like, it shows how you're a man. It shows like if you don't, then you're weak. Only quote unquote betas want socialism. And so you're linking an era of masculinity, which is toxic, which all masculinity is toxic, but the idea of able to actually make money that makes you a man.
That you think all masculinity is toxic.
Don't run. You're trying to run something else. The fact that you think that in order, the value of a man is how much money they make. So why is the value of a man tied to their pockets?
You say is the value of a man tied to his pockets?
No, I'm saying under your premise, why is the value of a man tied to their pockets?
The whole value, but a lot of value, because a man is a provider. He's supposed to be a hunter.
Under what premise?
A provider, a hunter, a person that goes out.
Under what premise?
And gets. Well, as a man, you can't feed your family. If you can't feed your family, you're not a man.
But you said men. You said men's are hunters. Kids, but you said men are hunters and providers. Under what premise? Hunters. Under what premise? Because even if you talk about like if you talk about like when we were quote unquote hunters and gatherers, like men weren't the quote unquote actual hunters. It was literally there was a matriarchy where women led as far as being able to not only lead the quote unquote hunting, but they provided most of the food, because when men went out on hunts, they were less efficient and brought back less food.
No, they prepared the food.
No, they didn't.
That's not true.
Women actually brought more food in the time of hunters and gatherers than men.
No.
And then even if you take a look at in the animal kingdom, right? Which animal would you say is the king of the jungle?
A tiger.
The tigers.
A lion don't live in the jungle. You finna say a lion?
Yeah. I'm more so talking about like the actual.
A lion don't live in the jungle.
Listen, Reg, ball with that one. You know ball with that one. You right, but more so speaking on like the colloquial term, the way that people normally say it. You know what I'm saying. But your answer's actually
I know exactly what you said, but that's wrong.
No. I'm saying I just gave you that. Like your answer is actually correct, but I didn't think you knew that. Good on you. But let's talk about the lion. With the lion, with the pride, who actually does the majority of guiding the pride, hunting, all of those things? Not just we always talk about like
it's the lioness. I understand that it's the lioness,
right?
It's the lioness.
So even in nature, you see the premise as far as like women being the leaders and being the ones that actually bring home the bacon.
That's one. No. That's one particular. That's just does that. That's just one particular species that does that.
Oh no, there's a multitude of species.
Let's be for real now. Let's be for real. Why?
There's a multitude of species that do that, not just lions.
That you talking about. Do your wife take care of you?
What does that have to do with the conversation we're having right now?
Does she take care of you?
No, I actually have a partnership. It has
way more to do than you talking about.
No. I have a partnership with my wife. We take care of each other. I don't take care of her.
50-50 guys. Y'all go half on. Y'all go half on the bills.
No, it's
y'all
not about
on the bills.
No, it's not about being 50-50.
Do you pay all the bills?
It's not about, hey, you can't hear me and I can't answer your question if you keep speaking while I'm speaking. It's not about taking care of me. It's about being in a partnership and understanding whenever I'm in need, she's there. Whenever she's in need, I'm there. That's what it's about. It's not about splitting up arbitrary bills or saying this person is the leader or not the leader. Like the premise of like, oh, the men are the leaders and they have to bring home the bacon. Like that's not true. But even more than that, like you're tying the premise as far as like men are only valued by their wallet is literally a direct correlation towards like femicide, the way that women are treated. Like men get so butthurt that women make more money than them or they can compete in the job market that they literally abuse and take the lives of women because they can't handle it. Like the rhetoric that you're perpetuating is literally something that put women in danger because men are so fragile.
Those are effeminate beta men. I'm a man. My girl don't touch the trash. She don't take out the trash. All she do, I give her the money. She pay the bills with my money. She don't worry about no bills. She ain't worried about none of that shit. When it's time, when she want to go shopping, I provide the money to go shopping. I'm a man. That's what a man does. I take care of the household. If we hear a bump in the night, I grab the Second Amendment and go check it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what men do. That's what me. All that old. What you saying? Your more woman must take care of you. You must not be the breadwinner. She must pay all the bills according to you. Since you want to bring up that lion situation, that don't apply in this real everyday world that we live in now. A man gotta have his worth. If he don't, then he's not a man. Point blank, period.
Yeah, Red. What I'm saying is the actual narrative that you're subscribing to is the narrative that was in place in like the 1950s, before women could actually open their own bank accounts or have their own credit cards or work outside of the home. You're subscribing to the same thing where women were second-class citizens and they were subject to being less than. They're not that anymore, Red. They don't need us to actually do those things. They may want us, they may allow us, but they don't need us. And you pretending as if, oh, this is how things are supposed to be, that's not accurate. See, the issue that you have, Red, is, again, you link worth to your pockets, not understanding that you can have, not understanding. I was still finishing my sentence. You link worth to your pocket, not understanding that you can be, like in your bank, you could have plenty of money, right? But if you are morally bankrupt, if you can't show empathy, apathy, if you can't show that you have a higher emotional intelligence, then that's going to stop you from being able to be a good partner. And at the end of the day, if you can't be a good partner, then no matter how many bills you pay, the person that you're with isn't going to be happy. Also,
Okay,
guys,
so
it
you
looks
don't
like
agree
we're
that-
at 20 of the $150 kick goal. If you want to add to the kick goal, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. We have a $150 bounty on Red. And so if you want to add, you can do so. We're 130 away. Go ahead.
So you don't agree that men and women have we have roles in society?
No, I don't subscribe to assign gender roles. No.
Okay, so if somebody's out breaking in your car or break, do you jump in the closet and tell baby, go check it out, go see what's going on, or go get them, go make them leave? Do you stand when you and your girl going into the mall or going where y'all going by traffic? Do you walk on the inside of the and let her walk on the outside where the car more likely to hit her than you? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I think it sounds that way to you, Red, because you don't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. What does that mean when I say I don't subscribe to a?
Ask the women.
Hey, Red. What does it mean, Red? What does it mean when I say I don't subscribe to assigned gender roles and norms? What does that mean?
What I just said.
It doesn't.
It's not up. You're not the protector. It says.
It literally doesn't.
Yes, it does.
This is the problem. It's not Red. That's literally. See, this is the problem that's been occurring.
Yes.
This has been the problem that's been occurring.
Ask the women in the chat. Ask the women in the chat.
Red, I'm gonna finish my sentence. This has been the problem for the entire time that you've been up here. The problem is that you are speaking on things and you don't actually know what the things mean. You didn't know what socialism means, but for some reason you were speaking with such confidence. You don't know what the statement, I don't subscribe to assign gender roles and norm means. And you're speaking with the sense of authority. Like you don't understand these things and you're filtering them through your lack of knowledge. And that's causing the breakdown in communication. So instead of you actually just saying, well, does that mean that if someone was breaking in the house, you say, baby girl, go check that out? Or like, that's not what that means. How about you say, hey, Santana, what do you mean by that?
I know what gender roles are. I know what a man's role in society. So is your woman the protector in your relationship? Is she the protector? Does she protect you?
Protector
from other men?
No.
Does she
protector,
like if a
protector
guy,
in what sense? Because Red, I just said, like, again, you don't understand things, and that's why your actual understanding is so elementary. Just to sit here and say, is she the protector? Protector in what way? What do you mean?
If another guy is a physical threat against you, does your wife come and say, hey, you leave my husband alone for I kick or whatever? Or
No. In that type of situation, my wife is the protector in the sense of stopping me from acting irrational, because I will act irrational. My wife has literally stopped me from actually getting into altercations because I am very quick to react. And so she is absolutely a protector, because if it wasn't for her, I would have been in multiple physical altercations and possibly in jail because of it. I swing first and ask questions last. So she is absolutely the protector in that situation. She's the responsible adult, because at times I have low EQ.
Well, you just told me everything I need to know about you, ma'am.
You can sit here and say, ma'am, all you want to, Red, but you're the fucking idiot that doesn't understand things. Like when I tell you, Red, I don't even feel sorry for you anymore. I just understand like who you are as a person. Like when I tell you, you live a sad existence, right? Not only because you, for some reason, don't care about people, which is fucking weird, Like, you subscribe to the caveman ooga booga theory, thinking that you got to walk around with a fucking club and smacking your wife over the head with it, and going and getting a fucking dinosaur and bringing them back to the cave. That's the stupidest shit, Red. It's not about your pockets, because your pockets aren't fat. Red, you're a worker bee. You're literally a worker bee. And so you tying your value to your pockets when we've already covered the fact that you are at the whims of capitalism. You claim that, I own my own truck, but you admitted I actually work for someone. You literally admitted that you actually work for someone. And so if that person has an issue, their insurance lapsed, you have a wreck, then you and your pockets are no longer seeing the income. So when you tie your self-value to how much money you make, then you limit yourself as a person, but that's the only thing that you bring to the table. When you can no longer provide as a provider, then what do you have? Because you don't have substance, you don't have morals, you don't actually care about people. What are we doing?
Let me can I tell you? Can I tell you? I don't just say that my pockets. I'm a provider. I can fit.
I think that's the ancestors speaking, breaking you up. I can't hear anything that you're saying. You keep cutting out. Guys, there's $85 left in the kick goal. If you want them up out of here, you can do you can add to the kick goal. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks For You. Santana Speaks For You is how you add to the kick goal. Sorry, YouTube, we cannot go through the YouTube. You got to send it through the pay links. He's at 65 of the 150. You keep cutting out, Red. I think that was the ancestors punishing him for being so stupid.
Chad, if you can hear me.
And you kind of just came back in for a second. Try it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I can fish, I can hunt, I can change a tire, I can fix a car. My value is way. I know how to fix things. I'm a hands-on type of person. So like, no, it's not just in my money. If I didn't have no money, I can live off the land.
Red, quick question. Can you go to a store and buy Snapper?
I got worms in my backyard. I got worms.
That's not the question. Red, can you go to the store and buy Snapper?
I can fish.
Can you go to the store and buy? Okay, perfect. You can. Got it. Can you call AAA to change a tire?
I can change my own tire.
That's not the question.
That's what I'm telling you.
That's literally not the question, Red. The question is, can you call AAA to change a tire?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Sure you can.
Can you actually can you buy deer meat?
Sure you can.
Okay. So, Red, all of those things that you named, while those are absolutely good things to be able to do, right? To be able to work with your hands, to be able to actually, change a tire and hunt and fish and fix a car. Like, I agree that those are good things to be able to do. But Red, the point that you're missing is, one, that's something that's very common. Like, women do those things as well. But then also, two, Red, people, this isn't like the fucking 1940s, 1930s, 1850s. We don't have to do that, Red. Like, so you sitting here saying, well, I hunt and I fish. Yeah, cool story, bro. We got fucking grocery stores. That doesn't even make sense.
We might, one day it might be over with. Shit could hit the fan tomorrow.
Shit has already hit the fan. Shit has already hit the fan, Red.
No, I'm saying shit could really, really hit the fan. We ain't seen hit the fan yet. Red, and most people are not prepared for shit to hit the fan.
I don't think you are either.
Yes, I'm telling you, I'm a survivalist. I'm ready for it, whatever comes my way. If the lights go out, whatever, I'm ready for all of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, my value as a man, it greatly. The average man, can hold a nothing to me. Like I'm way like, man, I'm a different person, bro. I'm a different breed.
You're really not. You're really not. You're really not special. You're really not special. Red, when I tell you,
that's cool.
When I tell you, like, you haven't said one thing yet that, and you know, I'm not making this about myself, but you haven't said one thing yet that you do that I haven't and can do, or even more so, the random guy that I know from South Carolina does as well. Like, you haven't named one thing. I think you think that you're special because you do these things just because maybe no one else around you has done or do these things, but the things that you named, they're not special.
Okay.
So Red, again, the question that I have is, like, why don't you put any value in emotional intelligence? Like the premise that you are somehow leaning on, like, oh, men do this, women do that. And just to, or not even answer your question, because you aren't intellectually curious, I'll tell you anyway. When I say I don't subscribe to gender norms and gender roles, that means that not saying that, oh, I think that, oh, like this is this or this is that. I'm saying that I don't think that something is assigned a specific way. Are there things that I do and I don't want my wife doing? Sure. I don't like my wife taking out the trash. I've told her a million times, hey, don't touch the trash. I got that. I don't like my wife opening her own door. I do that. But I'm not locked into saying that this is only something that a man can do or only something a woman can do because they're a man or a woman. I don't subscribe to that. I think that as partners, you have the ability to do what's best for you and your partner at that time. That's the difference between you and I.
And I bet you believe trans women are women too, don't you?
Why are you pivoting to trans people? Can you directly talk about what's in front of you? Because you're running like a motherfucker right now. You're running like a motherfucker right now, but for some reason you can't actually address what I just said. Red, why is it that you lack emotional intelligence?
Who said I lack emotional intelligence?
You're proving right now, this entire time that you've been speaking, you've absolutely proven that you lack emotional intelligence, Red.
Well, I had a hard life. I had a hard upbringing. You forgot. You haven't Googled. I know you probably didn't Google me. You know who I am.
No, I would never. I don't even think about you as soon as I get off the live with you, Red. Why would I Google you?
Cool. Cool. Well, I'm a hard individual.
You're a hard individual. Okay. You know what, Red?
I'm a hard individual.
You know what, Red? That's a fair statement. That's a fair statement. And maybe I have been a little unfair. Maybe I have. You said Google you. I have never taken the time. And to be honest, I'm not going to take the time to Google you. But what I will do, because maybe I'm just like, maybe we're talking past each other at this moment, Red. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the fact that we don't really know each other is the reason why we're coming at this at such a different angle. So, Brett, as much as I don't want to do this, and I'm sure the chat's going to be pissed off when I say this, tell us about yourself.
No, I don't want to.
Nobody gives a fuck. W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat. You guys knocked out that kick goal. W's in the chat for the chat. Give it up for yourself, guys. You are fucking amazing. And I got a 10-minute. And we got a 10-minute restriction. Yeah, worth it. Worth it. Guys, keep tapping the screen. We just got a 10-minute restriction. Can we knock out the Let 'em Cooks? Send your daily heart me if you have not done so. Hit that follow button. That'll help as well. We only got 24 new followers, but if you hit that follow button, that'll help bolster and protect the live. Just do all the things. Do all the things. Do all the things. Yeah. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter. You said, where's your cut of the money? You don't get a cut, Red. You better go grab them bootstraps, Red. Go tug on them straps you got. Go tug on them bootstraps, Red. What are we doing? Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. We got Doofy in the request. I can't remember what happened with Doofy yesterday, chat. What happened with Doofy? Can anybody remember what happened with Doofy yesterday? Because I don't remember that. Did he slur and run? Oh, he was the one that called. Yeah, I remember that. Gator bait. Fuck off, Doofy. Oh, missed the person. 1 second here, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter, disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. If you're over on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Instagram, and you would like to debate me, guess what? You can come up. You can come up. All you got to do is click that link, and it'll get you in here. Let's see. David, over on YouTube, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. David, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Excuse me, I disagree with something on the background.
Okay, perfect. Give me a second here, David. Let me get you over here on the TikTok side so people can know that you're here.
Okay, thank you.
And would you mind giving me like 2 seconds just to say thank you to a couple people, and then I'll give you the floor?
Yes, please.
Perfect. W's in the chat for Phoenix for the $5 super chat to say, I got some extra money. Hope you have a good day today. My sleep schedule is not doing okay. I understand. Mine could be better. W's in chat for Heavily for becoming a late night tuber. W's in chat for 1B Carry for the $5 super chat to say, I thought he said people who lived off the grid and off the land were weak under capitalism. He did say that bullshit. Dang. W's in the chat for Dylan for the $2.79 Canadian super chat to say, red is making me see red. JFC. I know that's right. Debbie's in the chat for Elisa, who added to the Kick Fund. Thank you so much, Elisa. He made me lose brain cells as well. Debbie's in chat for Olivia for the $3 donation. He said, I'm a 30-year-old woman. I'm lucky enough to have parents to let me live in home while I save up to move out. My job every Monday is to gather trash, recycle, and take it out. Do I like it? No. Am I perfectly capable of doing it? Yes, absolutely. Dub's in the chat for Olivia for adding it for the Kick. Dub's in the chat for Jared for the 5. Said, here's my contribution to capitalism. I know that's right. Dub's in the chat for Jared. Dub's in the chat for Jenny for the $10 donation. Saying, my husband is my husband is a better wife than me. I have not cleaned the house, done laundry, or even yard work in years. We both pay bills. We don't believe in gender roles. Facts. Dub's in the chat for Caitlin for the $1. Said, I prefer to be in a partnership. The deconstruction of the patriarchy as much as possible by changing up things. I'll walk on whichever side, and I'll be checking out a threat as a backup. Yeah, absolutely. It's just insane. W's in chat for Kathleen. W's in chat for Abby for the $5 adding to the K Fund. Please get rid of this misogynistic POS. I know that's right. W's in chat for Marie for the $2 donation. Saying, waiting on payday, but red is pissing me off. My guy, 80% of the teen boys in any of my class can hunt, fish, rebuild the engine, survive, and do it with full-time school. Like, that's the thing I was saying, Marie. Like, he didn't say anything special, which was the wild part. He was just like bragging, like, oh, this is something that no one can do when it's literally common practice. I don't know. Let's see here. W's in the chat for Stacy for adding to the guest for the Kick. W's in the chat for oh wait, wrong one. Hold on. Where is it? Okay, here I am. Sorry. W's in the chat for Brooke for the 5 for the Kick. W's in the chat for Anthony for the 1 for the Kick. W's in the chat for Amanda for the $20 saying, please kick this misogynistic bully. We got him up out here. W's in the chat for Taylor for the 6 for the Kick saying bye-bye. W's in the chat for Josh for the 5. Said for partnerships or better relationship Kick. W's in the chat for Elizabeth, who added $50 to the Kick. Said, pleasure to assist with kicking this donut. I know that's right. W's in chat for Tori for the 150 for it's the Kick Fund. W's in chat for Phoenix who sent $2. It said to get him out of here. I know that's right. And Debbie's in the chat for Amanda for the $25 donation, saying, please kick him. You and management, love, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, Debbie's in the chat for Bumbleclot. Your mods banned me for a bad reason for the 10. I don't know what the mods banned you for. And then you sent me another 10, said it's grabbing. It says it's my new money and I need it now. I'll check Bumbleclot. I'll check that. Let me I'll send this over. We'll definitely check that. W's in the chat for all the donos. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right, sorry about that. David, floor is yours. Which point on the background do you disagree with?
Capitalism versus socialism. I'm a supporter of capitalism.
Okay, so you disagree with the point that capitalism has been a failure and it's time for socialism.
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Tell me why.
Well, I think it just, when you look at kind of history, I mean, capitalist countries that are primarily capitalist, they've just overall produced a lot higher, economic growth and higher standards of living than countries that are leaning more towards socialism.
Okay, so you're saying that capitalism is better because it makes more money?
Well, I mean, making more money ends up translating to higher standards of living for the population of those countries.
How so?
Well, because, I mean, they usually people have more disposable money and they have access to more things, not just needs, but also wants, primarily wants, that they wouldn't necessarily have under socialist economies. I mean, when you look at, after the Korean War, the difference in the economies between South Korea and North Korea is like the perfect example of what happens when you have a market-based economy versus a socialist state-run economy. One economy is bustling, the other one's effectively been dead for 60 years.
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think North Korea is actually a socialist country. I think that a lot of people have perpetuated the name of like socialist and communism, but socialism as a whole is completely different. And even like a socialistic government is completely different. But I guess the question I have for you, just to kind of keep it simple, Sally, KISS, right?
Yeah, sure.
The United States of America, are we the richest country on earth?
Well, how would you define rich? You're talking about like GDP?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Americans, individual people, are we making more money today than generations prior?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't believe so.
Yeah,
are we?
We are.
Well, I thought when you made more money, I thought you meant like, can we go further with money? But in terms of actual dollars,
no. I haven't even gotten there, because you're right. If that's the metric, then no. But you actually, you put the horse in front of the cart. But yeah, actually, that's exactly where I was going. While the United States of America is the richest country on earth and our GDP is far larger than other countries, and Americans
why did
are
it get larger?
more money today than they have before. We are still living at substandard levels when you compare like the actual overall well-being of American citizens to countries that actually don't have that same level of access to GDP or even everyday income.
Right. Yeah, but those which countries are you referring to?
Oh, it's a multitude of countries. I can pull up the list. Have you ever heard of the happiness index?
Yes.
Okay. So with the happiness index, there is a multitude of countries that far outdo the US. The last time I checked, I think we were like 44. Let me pull this up and see exactly where we are. Happiness index. Oh, they got a new one for 2026. Let's see. Where does the US fall? Here's the rankings. The US is number 24 in the 2026 World Happiness Rank. And we are behind other socialist governments like Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Netherlands, Costa Rica, Norway, fucking Israel, Luxembourg, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, Switzerland, Belgium, Ireland, Lithuania, Australia, Canada, Slovenia, Czechoslovakia, the UAE, Germany, and the UK.
Yeah, well, are you saying the United Kingdom and Canada are socialist countries?
They're not socialist countries. I don't think there's any true socialist countries, but there's countries that embrace socialist politics, socialistic safety nets and things along those lines. There's no truly socialist country. And like the form of socialism that most people refer to has a capitalistic base. So like those are different things.
Yeah, so it needs capitalism to function. I mean, the U.S. is not strictly capitalism. It's effectively almost every country is a mixed economy.
Strictly capitalistic.
How so? Do we not have social programs?
The quote-unquote social safety nets that are being provided by the U.S. are not only inadequate when it comes to the amount of revenue that we create, but also when you talk about the people that have access to those social safety nets.
Yeah, but how does that mean it's purely capitalist? Because it's not purely capitalist. We have programs that are not capitalist.
Yeah, it's purely capitalistic because even if you actually should qualify for those social safety nets, depending on your contribution to capitalism, you could be excluded from it. So
can you give me how so?
The point being is like even if you make like below the poverty line, if you make too much to qualify for SNAP benefits, then you're eliminated from access to SNAP benefits. So you don't make enough for a livable wage, but you make too much to be able to get the assistance needed. That's a perfect example.
Well, what is a livable wage? Is that not a subjective term?
It would be being able to keep pace with the cost of inflation and living.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be different for you and me? Your livable wage would be different than mine.
Average of the country. I mean, like individual people can talk about like their different lifestyles, but we're talking about the actual average as far as costs in the country. You can look at CPI. You can look at the actual inflation rate. Like livable wages were a thing prior to Reagan and trickle down economics.
You talking about the term, or are you saying it existed prior to Reagan economics? I mean, a livable wage was not. It wasn't an actual thing that existed. There was no definitive. Here's a livable wage. There was a minimum wage.
No. The livable wage was determined by the actual federal minimum wage being parallel to the cost of living increase. Prior to trickle down economics, those two ran parallel. So the actual federal minimum wage increased as the cost of living continued to increase, and so those two were on par. So that created the livable wage. But then after Reaganomics, trickle down economics, and they started putting more money in the ultra wealthy in the top 1%'s hand, the actual cost of living continued to rise, but the federal minimum wage flattened out, which caused the gap. And now there's no such thing.
Yeah, but how is that? How would you tie that to socialism? That's just a government program.
Yeah, well, again, I haven't tied that to socialism. I'm telling you that that's a factor of capitalism, and that's why this doesn't work. Capitalism does not allow people to actually have a sense of living. It drives and it dictates that people continue to be exploited at whatever level they're being exploited to enrich the ultra wealthy.
Yeah, but these other
Great example. Elon Musk, richest man on earth, right?
Right.
How did he become a trillionaire?
Well, basically just because, I mean, however his companies are valued, they just skyrocket, and he just suddenly just became a trillionaire. And now, to my knowledge, I think he's back down to not being a trillionaire anymore. So just based on the valuation of his assets.
Dang, you don't spoil that part for me. But no, that's not what happened.
Okay.
But there was something that occurred that actually paved the way for him to become the first ever trillionaire. Do you know what that thing was?
You're talking about one specific thing? No.
The signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill. The signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill not only gave his companies additional access to governmental grants and subsidies, but it also cut the actual funding for certain programs, and that allowed him to receive not only tax cuts but additional revenue. It increased the value of a multitude of companies, where he rolled those companies under SpaceX, and he used all that as a launch pad to become the first ever trillionaire, which the one-to-one correlation is the 17 million people that were kicked off of healthcare with the Affordable Care Act, the increase in premiums for everyday Americans, the fact that 466 rural hospitals are losing access to grants for Medicaid, Medicare, and so they're going to close down. So 6.6 million Americans that live in rural areas are no longer going to have access to regular healthcare with those hospitals, and it's going to affect 275,000 employees. So the way that
but how is that capitalism? That's just bad government policy.
I was about to explain that. The way that capitalism worked is, in order to continue to generate record revenues and increase for someone to become a trillionaire, it dictated that the least of us had to take less and bear the brunt of those actual progressions.
Yeah, but that doesn't. You didn't just demonstrate capitalism with that. You just told me that the government made some ridiculous policies and passed bills which allowed a guy like Elon to flourish. But that's not capitalism. That's just crony government corruption.
No,
that is not.
That's not corruption. It wasn't illegal.
It's corruption in the sense of he's doing something that he really shouldn't be doing, and he's the White House is not serving the people.
Morality was subjective.
How is that free market capitalism? Government passing policies.
Wait. Being moral versus being legal are two different things.
Right. And yeah, so, I'm saying how is. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, and when you want to say how's that free market capitalism, they're not actually stymieing anyone else within the market. It's just that the cuts needed to increase the access to capitalism for the ultra wealthy. Like Elon Musk wasn't exclusive in his benefits from the One Big Beautiful Bill, right? No matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, if you're a billionaire, you benefited from the One Big Beautiful Bill, because it says that, if we offer these tax cuts and we make these corporate tax cuts permanent, then they're going to reinvest in the people. And so the trade-off is saying, well, if we take away from this group of people right now, then in the long run, it'll benefit everyone, which isn't a thing.
Yeah, but that's not capitalism. That's government policy. The government passing a bill that gives people tax cuts or taxes other people at a higher rate, taking people off benefits. Was that capitalism? That is a government policy.
No. That didn't actually tax people at a higher rate. That cut the actual government funding.
No, I'm saying if it did, right? It cut. Yeah, how's that capitalism?
Tax cuts permanent. Because they actually affected the tax code for the corporations and the ultra wealthy.
Right. How is that capitalism? How is the government doing that?
Why the government
capitalism?
Passed that legislation, or what was the quote unquote logic behind it?
For why they passed a big beautiful bill?
Yeah, what's the logic behind offering tax cuts and tax incentives for the ultra wealthy and corporations?
Well, I mean, you basically just stated it in principle. It's because it's going to pass on to other people. Obviously, it's not true, but I'm saying how is that capitalism?
Define capitalism.
Well, I mean, capitalism is the trades of goods and services. Effectively, that's what it is in sort of its rawest form. I mean, terrible government policy. Yeah, it's not illegal. You're right. But bad government policy, or Trump passing some ridiculous bill, that's not capitalism. That's just bad government policy.
Okay. So if you want to boil it down to like a very simple term, I guess, but when you talk about capitalism, there's a multitude of factors that actually prop up capitalism. Right. And you have to take a look at the different entities, the different levers. And we're not just talking the public sector, but we're also, we're not just talking private sector, but we're talking the public sector. The public sector absolutely plays a large role within capitalism. Hell, you can see the fact that like the government cut access to employment, the unemployment rate skyrocketed, which affected the interest rates, which affected CPI, which affects the amount of money that people have as far as disposable income. Like, it's all connected. So you can sit there and say, well, that's not capitalism. It's like, if you were just going to say, oh, it's just goods and services, like, but if you look at the holistic thing, like of what capitalism truly is and what affects it and how it affects it, it absolutely is capitalism.
Well, you're just giving it a vague definition to say it's capitalism. Again, a government passing a bill, it's just a government action. I mean, I still don't understand how that means capitalism has failed because Trump passed a bill which, say, screws over the poor and benefits the rich for sake of argument. Again, I don't mean to keep saying the same thing, but that is not capitalism.
Because if you say that I'm just giving it a skewed definition, fine.
I mean, you could say it's associated with it.
Let's lean on definition. Capitalism is an economic system where private and individuals or business owners own the means of productions, such as factors as land and machinery. Decisions about productions, investments, and prices are driven in a competition in the free market rather than by the government. Understanding
we don't have a free market.
Understanding capitalism requires the primary mechanisms: private ownerships, individuals and corporations holding legal rights to property and capital, profit motive, the primary incentive for producing goods and services to accumulate wealth, competitive markets, prices and distributions of goods to determine largely by supply and demand. Wage laborers, workers sell their labor to businesses for wage rather than owning the goods of production. How does it work in the capitalistic economy? Buyers and sellers engage in voluntary exchange. Competitions between businesses encourage innovation, effectiveness, and varies, while prices fluctuate to balance what is available with the consumers. While there's pure laissez-faire or free market capitalism involving zero government control, most modern capitalistic economies are actually mixed economies, which means the state sets foundational rules, enforces contracts, and provides public goods or safety nets.
You just said it yourself.
Exercises. So, like,
you just said it yourself. It's not capitalist. It's a mixed economy. We don't have real capitalism. We have a mixed economy. I mean, by your own admission, we have that.
Is a mixed economy a form of capitalism?
I mean, depending on how capitalist it is, I would say it's
yes or no answer. Is a mixed economy a form of capitalism?
Generally speaking, yeah.
Yes, it literally is. So just because I'm not saying, oh, mixed economy instead of this specific type of socialism, like you're sitting here, that's like, I'm not going to hold you. It feels kind of disingenuous to pretend like you don't understand what we're talking about when we talk about capitalism.
I want to understand your definition of it, because I don't think again, a government,
like you sitting here, I don't know if you could tell
a government passing a bill is not capitalism.
I absolutely detest definitions, because definitions don't really do shit. Like you sitting here,
well, they don't fit your narrative.
Is not going to further this conversation.
Well, because then if you tell me something, I have to know exactly what you mean by that, because your definition of whatever you're talking about may be different from what is actually being discussed. I mean, again, you know, if you can say the government passes all these bills and all these are, you hate all of them, that doesn't somehow mean it's a failure of capitalism. That just makes no sense. You can say it's tied to capitalism in some sense.
I gave you one factor. I literally gave you one factor, but I also told you I'm talking about capitalism as a whole. So if I say capitalism as a whole, does that not entail the different levers, mechanisms, and factors that would be included in capitalism?
Are you asking me, does it not entail? Is that a question?
Yes.
Yes, it does entail.
Okay. So like we can talk about anything that's under the broad spectrum of capitalism. And yes, I'm talking about that. Like you can pull up any certain subsection of capitalism and we can talk about that, but I'm saying it's all encompassing.
Yeah, I mean, but again, that goes back to it just being a mixed economy. I mean, for you to just simply say this is a failure of capitalism, it's just a failure of a mixed economy, which is not very capitalist.
Would it make you feel better if I said mixed economy, failure, time for socialism?
No, it's not about me feeling
No.
better. It's about I'm trying to
Okay,
understand
so
why
how
you
would
think
that
it's a
change
failure of
this
capitalism
debate?
specifically.
Answer the question. How would that change the debate if I said mixed economy, failure, time for socialism? How would that change your actual approach to this debate?
Well, I would ask you what your definition of a mixed economy
You would
is.
go back
Like
to
I
a
wanted to know
fucking
what your definition
definition.
of
This is so
capitalism is.
stupid. You want to debate
Why
definitions.
is it
I don't
stupid?
care about debating definitions because I'm smarter than the definition, and I think you are too, but I think you're being disingenuous. I'm not sitting here
No, dude,
like
I'm not being disingenuous. I'm
David,
trying.
I have no
Yeah, go ahead.
interest in sitting here reading Merriam-Webster. If that's what you're looking to do, then I'm sorry, I'm going to pass. But I'm looking for a deeper
No, I'm not
level
saying
of
we just have to
substance. I
sit here
don't care
reading
about
definitions all day.
definitions. I'm
Yeah,
granting
but
you,
I'm not.
David, I'm
Yeah.
literally granting you the premise that you are smart enough to understand definitions and not need definitions to actually argue.
Right, and I'm saying I want to make sure that you're going by either the definition or your definition. Because if you're going by your definition of something, well, I have to then kind of pick that apart and
I'm not
understand
going
what
by
do you mean
definitions.
exactly when
I'm
you
not
say this.
going by definitions. I'm going by the actual premise of the system that we live
Right.
in and how it works.
Mhm.
I haven't brought up definitions not one time because the definitions hold no value to me. You keep wanting to talk about definitions. I want to talk about what's happening within our society. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay, look, you know what? Fine. We can kind of restart it then. And if you want to go back to like when you mentioned the happiness index and Nordic countries, you said what? The number one was what? Finland?
Yeah,
Was I correct about that?
Your premise was that the more money that countries make and the more money people have, the better they are. And I said that's just not true because we generate such a large amount of money in our country and people are making more money than ever before. But the other factors that play into like the happiness and success of the people, that doesn't equate one-to-one.
Well, I'm not strictly saying it's only tied to GDP. I mean, the US has a lot of things that I don't think are really necessarily tied to GDP to be unhappy. And other countries, like those countries you mentioned, the Nordic countries, I mean, look, they are very capitalist in nature. They have large, say, socialist welfare programs, if that's what you would want to call it, like a large welfare safety net, so to speak. But they are inherently more or less free market capitalist countries. And they're able they're able to generate, excuse me,
social safety nets.
I would call it a social safety net. I think they call it that too. And they have these social safety nets and they're able to afford those social safety nets because they produce enough via capitalism to have a high enough GDP to afford those things.
Mm-hmm.
So capitalism effectively drives their ability to provide whatever their large social safety net is, unemployment benefits, socialized healthcare.
Are you saying the United States of America doesn't?
Well, we don't do it quite to that extent, but I mean, we do it in some ways. We have some programs.
What's the difference between the amount of revenue the United States of America is able to generate versus the revenue that these Nordic countries generate and what they can actually provide for their people in their country?
You said, what's the difference between how much they generate? Did I get that right? Because you cut out for a sec. My apologies.
Yeah. Like, okay, hold on a second. One second here. Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Oh, okay. Hold on. That's exactly what I needed. Okay, so the question I have is looking at the actual comparison, Finland versus the United States of America, right?
Okay.
Looking at the
Comparison in what
breakdown,
way?
yeah, and the actual population
For the
versus
happiness?
the GDP, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So if we take a look at the population versus the GDP, the one second. Finland. Finland
Right.
has I'm sorry, yeah, Finland has a population of 5.65 million people, right?
Right.
The United States of America has a population of 342 million people, right?
Okay. Sure.
So obviously, the amount of people in the US far exceed the amount of people in Finland.
Right.
Now, if you take a look at the GDP in Finland is 337.67 billion a year, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And the GDP in the United States of America is 31.8 trillion a year, right?
Right.
Now, we talked about how like Finland is ranked number 1 in the world, and if you're talking about like the actual way that things stack up and how it works, well, one would be it would be a fair statement from what you've been saying is like, well, the reason why Finland can actually be more allow these like social safety nets and do these things for their people is because like individually looking at what their GDP is versus the amount of people, they can afford it. Is that an accurate statement? Because then I say, what's the difference? Why can't the US afford it with the amount of GDP that we have?
Well, I mean, you could make that argument, but that would simply, I mean, Finland's able to do that because they tax their population very high. I mean, I think a lot of people in
We tax
Finland,
our population really high as well. I think
yeah, but not nearly as high as them.
Oh, okay. 1 second here. One second here. All right. So the tax rate in Finland ranges from 20 to 50%, and the 50% goes for the high earners, right?
Well, what's a high earner there?
I don't know. We'd have to look that up, but I don't want to go back to that just yet. So 50 to I'm sorry, 20 to 50%, but the average tax rate for people that live in Finland is 25.5%, right? Now, the United States of America, our tax rates range from 10% to 37%, and the high earners in the United States of America, that 37%, that's for people who make 640,000. We might as well say 641,000 or more a year, right?
You're talking about for Finland?
No, that's for the U.S.
The U.S. Okay, yeah.
So the average rate for Finland, where people would fall as far as the tax bracket in the U.S., they're paying the bracket they will fall in would be the 24% tax bracket. So meaning like the amount of taxes that they would pay in average compared to the US is about middle of the road.
You know, that look,
the average taxes that people in Finland pay is in the middle tax bracket for the United States of America. So they don't disproportionately tax their people.
That's not the information that I've gathered before. I mean, countries like Finland and I don't know, Nordic
What
countries like
information
Sweden
did
and
you gather? Because I'm looking at information from the IRS, and I'm pulling international data. I'm pulling data directly from the actual governments.
right. So according to what I've seen from the actual governments, the average tax rate, like your run-of-the-mill Finland, middle class person is paying, is about like 42 to 48%.
Where are you getting this information from? Because this is coming from the tax foundation. Like this, even this information is pulled from the United States of America. Like we pulled
For
this
Finland?
information studying their tax debt. Yes, we pulled
Yeah,
their
but-
tax information. Hold on, we pulled their tax information based off of the 2025 International Tax Compensatory Index.
Yeah,
Not
and from what I've seen from like the
index, and even they said Finland ranks number 24 overall as far as taxes.
yeah.
So literally, our government has done a deep dive on the taxes in Finland, and our government sources, the sources that I have from the IRS and from the tax foundation, is literally saying you're wrong.
Yeah, and again, from the sort, I mean, like the World Bank and the OECD say that Finland is paying like, again, it's over 40%, and it's not just Finland; it's a lot of these Nordic countries.
What did I say about the actual range for Finland?
Well, you said the range from what, 20-something% all the way up to
20% to 50%, depending on high earners.
Yeah,
And
yeah, but what the middle class is
25%.
still paying is like over 40%.
No, it's not. The middle
It
class
is.
is paying 25 point. Give me your source then, because again, I'm looking directly at taxfoundation.org, and
Right.
this is Finland's tax rates and rankings, and this is a complete comprehensive breakdown based off of 2025. So give me the source that you're saying that the middle class in Finland is paying 40%, because that's not a thing.
From what I looked up from the, like, I didn't look this up today, but I've done brief reading in the past, and according to, I think it's called the
Give me your source.
OECD and the
You
World
keep telling
Bank.
me what you looked up in the past. I gave you my direct source just now.
Right.
Give me your source.
I believe according to the OECD and like the World Bank, whatever their organization is
OECD,
called,
what's the title?
the OECD, I don't remember exactly what the title is. I think it's called the OECD.
What's the title for the World Bank then?
I believe it was just called like I don't know the exact title. Again, I didn't look this up right in front of me. I'm just telling you from what I've read in the past, these countries do have a much higher tax rate than middle class Finlands are not paying 24%. They're paying like close to half of their income in taxes.
Yeah, even the information I'm pulling up, this is right here. This is the World Bank measurement for Finland. Like even they're saying the same thing. They're
saying what?
That
they're paying 20.
They're looking at the actual tax rate. They're looking at the profits. The World Bank gave a breakdown. This is from, holy smokes, this is from 1972 to 2024. So they're not even looking at the 2025 data. But even looking at the 2024 data, Finland, the tax rate for Finland is 26.8%. And I just told you the average tax rate was 25.5, but the 26.8% is actually down from 2023. At 2023, it was 27%. 2024, there was a massive jump from, there was a massive jump from 2022 to 2023, from 18.1% to 27% in Finland, but they're going back down in 2024. And so in 2025, it's 25.5%. So you're just wrong.
No, again, I mean, look, the things I've looked up did not say that those were the numbers. I mean, maybe your numbers are conflicting with the ones that I've seen, but I've seen ones that, again, say over 40%.
Your source. Like I'm literally looking at your source. You told me to go to you literally told me go to the World Bank. Right. I'm at the World Bank group, and I'm specifically looking at taxes on incomes, profit, and capital gains, percentage of revenue, Finland. And I can look at any country. So I pulled up the source that you gave me, and your source says what I said. Like your source is literally telling me I'm right and you're wrong.
Look, all I can tell you is what I remember reading from that source. And again, it wasn't yesterday.
Why can't you just admit that you're wrong?
Maybe those numbers, I'm trying to explain, maybe your numbers are right. It's just from what I've seen and from what I've come to understand, these people.
You can't prove it because I pulled up your source and your source said that you're wrong.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Your source literally said that you're wrong.
Can I explain, or can I at least talk? These countries, these Nordic countries, I mean, they do not pay a low tax rate. No one's ever made this argument. That's absurd. They've always been known to pay close to 50% of what they have to pay in taxes from whatever they're making every year, because that's the only way they can fund these massive programs for such small countries. Like the countries themselves say this.
What's your source?
I don't have one right in front of me.
Okay, so if you don't have a source, then maybe stop saying that shit. I'm looking at from 1972 to 2024, the highest tax percentage, the average highest tax percentage in Finland was in 1976 at 35.4%. That is the highest average for Finland since 1972. Unless you have something that disputes the information from the World Bank that you told me that was your source, unless you have something to contradict what the World Bank is saying, then you have to stop saying that. I'm not saying that people haven't paid 50%, because again, the information I gave you was the highest end, the higher earners pay up to 50%, but that's not the average for the normal Finnish person.
Look, so I looked it up. Okay, because maybe your number's right, because I haven't, again, I don't have the source I told you, I don't have it right in front of me, but I did just Google it very quick because I don't have the time to do a deep dive. But it says Finland has it says here, Finland has a significantly higher overall tax burden than the US.
Are you looking at the AI overview?
The what on you're talking about? No, Google? I'm not looking at the AI overview.
What's your
I'm
source?
looking at it says the
What's your source?
I'm looking, it says the taxfoundation.org, I think.
Okay, I'm on the taxfoundation.org right now. That's literally what I told you.
You just said you were on the OECD.
I pulled that up after you told me to. I told you my original document was the taxfoundation.org, and it's taxes in Finland, and they're doing this based off of the 2025 International Tax Competitiveness Index. I told you that. That was the first place I went. So
it was Tax Foundation.
I'm on Tax Foundation. I literally said I was pulling the information from the IRS for the US, and then I was like, oh, actually, even the Finnish information is coming from the United States government because they're looking at it from taxfoundation.org.
Look, okay, maybe you're right. Those aren't the numbers I've seen before. But look, fair enough. I mean, go ahead.
You know,
were you going to say something?
It's fine. The point that I was originally trying to make is if you look at the population in Finland and you compare that to the GDP, the GDP for the population in Finland is 60,130. So for every person in Finland, the Finland generates $60,000, right? Right. But in the United States of America, with the 342 million people and the GDP of 31.8 trillion, the per capita rate is 92,881, so about 93,000. So we're talking about a difference of about $30,000 as far as the average earnings per person in the country. And then if we take a look at the actual tax rates, looking at the actual breakdown, again, the current average is 25.5. That falls in the middle of the road when it comes to United States taxes, right? They would make them a middle income earner paying in the 24% tax bracket. So the question I have now is if Finland is able to fall at #1 of the happiness index while providing a multitude of social safety nets, but also having a lower overall GDP and a lower overall GDP per capita than the United States of America, then why can't the United States of America provide those same things that Finland provides to their people?
Well, I think because I think it's a lot easier for a country to do that when they have a small population of only 5 million people that are more or less mostly the same. They're a very homogeneous nation, as opposed to the.
Nothing to do with this. We've accounted for per capita, right? Like we've literally offset population size by reviewing the actual cost per capita. Like that's the one time per capita actually really works.
But so in these Nordic countries, it's not just GDP that determines their happiness index. there are other factors that determine. I mean, I think it's like their
Hegemony?
general health. Well, I don't know
Are
if
you
hegemony is. I don't know
started
if
talking
that's
about hegemony?
necessarily tied. Right, but I don't know if that is actually tied. That's just from what I understand. They are home. I'm not saying it's tied. I'm saying they are a homogeneous country. But these Nordic countries, they have like, I know they have better work-life balance than the U.S., and that probably ties into their happiness. I think they have better, again, better safety nets that is tied to government programs, and they're not nearly as they're not nearly as corrupt as the United States, and people don't really trust the U.S. government. I think a lot of those, and they're also just physically healthier. Our country's very fat. I think a lot of these things play a significant role into
I think
happiness.
that you're looking for like coverage to justify why we can't do it versus like looking at the factors
Well,
where
no, I'm not saying
sure,
we can't do it. I'm
there
saying how is
sure there
that?
may be some actual differences in ideology or yeah, like from conservative
Yeah,
to
yeah.
liberal or whatever. But like when you talk about things that are basic fundamental needs, food reassurance, like healthcare reassurance,
Right.
like those things, access to public education, those things should be guaranteed universal rights, especially because of the amount of money that we actually generate. But see, the thing is that capitalism doesn't
Mhm.
allow that because capitalism demands the increase in profits. So you can see companies making record-breaking profits, but still cutting people in order to continue to grow record-breaking profits, i.e. the WWE. You can see companies who know that a president is coming in that plans on adding tariffs and they're going to raise prices, and instead of giving Christmas bonuses, they actually stock up on inventory. They take care of their bottom line before they take care of their people. They fire people in order to make sure it doesn't cut
Right.
in their profits. Literally, people keep talking about like AI and the AI bubble and what's happened. Amazon fired a shit ton of people and said, oh, it's because of AI. When in actuality, they
Right.
weren't replacing people with AI. They were just utilizing that budget that they had earmarked for people and actually using said budget to purchase more chips to try to develop AI. So the point being is the reason why we can't have the things that we have is because our country is so geared towards capitalism that it's willing to burn out its people and
Yeah.
to ensure more profit.
But these other countries that have capital, they're capitalist at their core. They provide a lot of these things, and again, they provide it through capitalism. So while capitalism doesn't always provide it in some situations, like in the U.S. and other countries, when they are capitalist, it will provide it because they choose to allocate it. They choose to allocate the resources from capitalism to provide those things to people, and that's provided via
Yes.
generation
See,
from capitalism.
the reason why I say like these countries aren't socialist countries, but they
Right.
have a socialist governmental system is because the actual protections of capitalism does not outweigh the protections of the people. That's why you see places like Canada, the UK, throughout Europe, where like they don't even allow certain substances in their countries as far as like food, like their people can't eat. Have you ever had McDonald's in Europe?
No.
First of
Have you?
all, fuck McDonald's because free Palestine till it's backwards. But prior to like not going to McDonald's, I went to McDonald's in Spain,
Right.
and the quality of the food is unmatched. The
Okay.
quality of all of the food, even fast food, in other countries where their government restricts the amount of substance and the items that you can place in their food. You talked about, oh, our country is fat. Our country is fat because our government believes in capitalism, and they say that you can put red 40 dye in our food. We're fat because they don't have regulations around pesticides. They keep deregulating things to cut costs to increase profits, where other countries keep saying,
Yeah,
nah,
but these other
what, making
countries,
money is cool, but we can't keep making
right?
money if people are dying.
Yeah, so these other countries that have these regulations, I wouldn't define that as socialism. That's just again, that's just government policies to, stave off unhealthy things like that. But that I wouldn't tie that to say, oh, look, this is an example of socialism working. It's not the state
That's
running
not what I'm
things. It's
saying
just
because I've clearly stated that there are no
okay.
actual socialist countries. right? I'm just talking
Well,
about a
then
socialistic
let me
government.
ask you this: how do you?
Like, so if I actually start talking about what I mean by true socialism, it would break your brain. You would have an amygdala response, and we wouldn't go anywhere. Like, we've already been bogged down by definitions. If I told you what I really meant by socialism, you would lose it, and you would say that, you know, I'm a fucking communist or a Red Scares. Like, I don't think that it
Well,
serves you.
because you'd be pointing to something that can't possibly exist, and it sounds great on
Why?
paper, but
Why?
well, then demonstrate how it could exist.
Why can't
Whatever
we put it
this
into practice?
utopia you're saying it exists, because if it could exist, humans would already have geared towards that, because we tend to go towards systems that work
No,
for
we don't.
people.
No,
Yeah,
we
we
don't.
do. You just
No, we
proved it
don't.
with a lot of the Nordic countries. Those
We
systems
literally
make
don't.
those people happy.
These social structures that have been put in place predate the ideas that we have. Like, you can sit here and talk about, like, oh, we gravitate to this. You know why? Do you know why
We do.
capitalism was put in
As
place?
humans, we do.
Do you know why
What do you
capitalism
put in
was put
place
in
by
place?
who? Are you saying it's put in place by an individual person or a group of people? It
Yes.
naturally forms.
No, it didn't.
No,
No, the fuck
capitalism
it didn't.
naturally forms. Yes,
No,
it
the
does.
fuck it didn't. No, the
It
fuck it
does.
didn't. No, it doesn't. Capitalism is tied to racism, right? Race and racism was created to further capitalism. You know what precedes capitalism? What's older than capitalism?
What?
Feudalism. The way that we have the patriarchal system, the way that we have created the structure where men are the quote unquote leaders and women are the quote unquote docile portion of people, like the way that the gender roles and norms were put in place, like feudalism precedes capitalism, which precedes racism. Like,
None of that.
being
Yeah.
able to
Go
talk
ahead.
about these things and dismantle these overarching systems is how you address that. But don't pretend like this has always been. Like, these things were created and driven to actually further other causes. But like, you
Yeah.
don't know these things.
Capitalism in its basic form is not tied to racism. It's just simply the free market trades of goods and services. That's what it is in its purest, literal, purest form.
No, you
That's
keep
what we
talking
started
about
with.
definitions. Yes, if you want to talk about a
Because
definition,
that's what it is.
No, but I don't give a fuck about a definition. Tell me when a definition on a piece of paper has ever dictated things.
What are you talking about?
Tell me when a definition on a piece of paper has actually dictated things. Tell me when a definition has confined anything from expanding.
Here's what I'm saying. Again, capitalism, when it's not interfered with by government policies and regulations, it's a very simple economic.
Can you tell me where there's been any definition, anything that's defined that is confined to the definition?
I don't even know what the hell that means.
Meaning, just because the definition of a thing, that does that mean that that's the only thing the thing can be used for, or the only way that it can function?
Can I give you an example? I mean, I don't think so, because that's not how humans work. Where people are very broad with how they do things.
Period. Also, like, you're so stuck on definitions. Hey, are definition prescriptive or descriptive?
I don't know.
Descriptive.
Okay.
Who creates definitions?
I'm not even sure where you're going with this.
Right here. Who creates definitions?
I have no idea. Are you talking about some specific individual? Okay, so what, humans? Who creates economic systems? Humans. What's your point?
The way that definitions are created is they're based off of how words are being used at that time.
Right.
So for you to sit here and say, well, that's not the pure definition of capitalism, that's just literally how the actual term is being used at this time. Again, you keep running back to definitions, and I'm telling you, you leaning on definitions it's done nothing, because if you want to talk about definition, if you want to talk about definitions, then we're only talking about shit on paper. We're not talking about the practice of anything. That makes no sense.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. But you just kind of disproved your own point, because by your own admission, the system that you think can exist, it's apparently only existed on paper, because it's never existed all throughout history this thing that you tell me you don't want to explain to
I'm
me because
telling
it's
you
going to
the
apparently break my brain or
definition.
whatever
The
that means.
definition only
Right.
exists on paper, and that's why I'm saying you sitting here saying, well, that's not the definition, does nothing. That's why I've been trying to talk about the actual intricacies of the actual thing. Like, that's why I keep talking about the different factors and functions and levers and how it actually works together and all this other stuff, but you want to stick to the definition. That's what I'm saying.
So then how does
because
this,
we're talking about more than
okay,
definition.
so how does the system that you support, how can it exist if you told me it's never existed, because you can't point to any time when it's ever actually apparently been implemented? So how could it actually work? If you, I don't even know if you're willing to tell me what it is, because you said before you weren't.
I'm
But how can
legitimately
it
not
work?
interested in telling you this because if for some reason, I don't know if you are being intellectually dishonest or you're just not capable of like getting it. But I feel like if I explain this to you, it's going to be a waste of my time, and I don't want to waste any more of my time.
So you just don't want to defend it? You don't want to defend
no, I
your own
have
position?
no issues with actually quote unquote defending it. I just have an issue with quote unquote defending
Then
it.
defend it. Then tell me what
I
it
don't
is.
think you're worth it. Like, I'm just being serious. I'm not being mean. I'm not being mean.
Okay.
I'm not even being an asshole.
Okay.
I'm telling you, at this point, I've determined either you're not going to be able to understand it or you're going to be disingenuous. Either way, I have no interest in rage baiting myself. So I'm not going to do that.
It's not about, I'm not trying to rage bait you. I want to genuinely know what your definition.
You rage. I'm talking about me. I know for a fact that if I sit here and
you can't control your own emotions in a conversation, dude. That's on you. I'm just asking you what it means.
Explain to you, if I take the time, energy, and effort to actually give you this information and run through the details of it, and then either you just like, oh, well, that's not the definition, or you're just like, well, that doesn't equal two. And
I'm just asking you to explain how it works, and you're telling me
I would have a higher expectation than you're able to meet. And that's how I would rage bait myself. I would expect you to be able to meet this level, but knowing that you can't meet this level, because one of two things are true at this point. Either you intellectually cannot engage with what I'm telling you, or two, you're disingenuous. Regardless, if I go through all of this and then we get there, then I'm going to make myself mad. You're not going to make me mad because it's not a you issue. It's a me issue. And I'm not doing that.
okay, so by your own admission, you just don't have the emotional capacity to just have a conversation without getting mad.
I have a hard time dealing with stupid people.
And you're going to make yourself mad? I mean, dude, you're not a little kid. You're an adult. Just have a conversation and tell me what it means. I have a hard time
dealing with stupid people because you know why? People like you are ultra-crepidarians. You're literally an ultra-crepidarian.
Okay.
You speak from a stance of like actual knowledge. You speak as if you're an expert. You sat here and talked about numbers. You blew numbers.
I never claimed that I was an expert.
You blew numbers out of your asshole. And then I fact checked you. And then you told me your source. And I fact checked your source. And your source said what I said. But yet
and look, I said if those numbers were wrong, then that's fine.
Admit that you were
I literally said those numbers could be wrong. I said from what I've come to understand,
you were wrong.
Okay, if I was wrong with those numbers, that's fine. Like I said, that's what I've come to understand in the past. But if the tax burden is different than what I've seen it actually is,
fuck out of here. Ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way. Like, why would I go through the actual labor of explaining something to you that I know for a fucking fact that either you're not gonna get or you're just gonna be disingenuous as shit? I have no interest in that. I literally have no interest in that. Fuck off. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like, go do some reading and then come back and we can talk about it. But absolutely not. I will say, kudos on me. I'm sorry, kudos to me, knowing that if I would have went down that dialogue, I was gonna crash out. Chat, can I get some credit? I could see the crash out coming. I could see the crash out coming. I love to see you said I would love to see you fight Sissy Boy. No one. I'm gonna. Oh, you got your request off. Come up here, City of Troy. Come up here and tell me about it. Like literally, I've trained in boxing, Aikido, and kickboxing. You would love to see me in a fight. I would love to fight you. But come up here so we can talk about it. You're not gonna get in a request? Yeah, that's what I thought. This is like these people. I don't know. Like this is weird. I don't know what we're doing today. Guys. W's in the chat for Tyler for the $1 donation. Is punching the donuts. Yep. W's in the chat for Tyler. W's in the chat for Brittany for the $5 donation. I appreciate the effort that you're putting in to create a safe, create space for a meaningful dialogue on issues that matter. I listen almost daily. Wish I could give more. No, you're fine. Thank you so much. W's in the chat for Brittany. Holy shit. Thank you for the 5. W's in the chat for Sam for the $5 donation. Did you see the firm was just linked to Trump? Or the firm just linked to Trump for selling pardons at 500K? No, I haven't seen that, but that doesn't shock me. The fact that actually he got I talked about it yesterday, where the actual investigations into Donald Trump and his pardons were shut down due to the DOJ. Like, he's absolutely selling pardons. Like, was there anyone under the misnomers that he's not selling pardons? I don't know what we're talking about. W's in the chat for Danielle for the $2 donation saying these other countries don't have sales tax either. So when you add up all the taxes Americans are charged on everything at equal almost to the exact, like, facts. Fucking facts. W's in chat for Ali for the $20 donation. Can you explain the difference between and difference in practice between capitalism, socialism, and communism? I know the definition, but I don't understand what it fully means. No. And W's in chat for you, Ali. Thank you for the 20. Only reason I say no is because literally that might be the topic of late nights next week. I will tell you that. Like, that's a conversation that I've been having, and I'm like, this needs to be a late night topic. And we need to break that down. We need to break down capitalism, socialism, and communism. So that might actually be a topic next week. So I don't want to give up the goods just yet, Ali, but I promise you, as soon as I pick the date, I will make sure that you know when we're doing it. But good question. I'm sorry, Ali. I'm glad you'll be there. I'm sorry. W's in chat for Ali. W's in chat for Tess for the $15 donation saying, Aaron Day today, so listening, but how many L's is the Trump administration going to get within 24 hours? It's beautiful. See you tonight on Late Nights. Absolutely. Have a great day. Let the chat say, tell the chat I said I love them and miss them too. W's in chat for Tess, guys, and Tess says she loves and miss you guys. That's what Tess said. W's in the chat. I don't know if this person's going to load. I don't think the person's going to load. W's in the chat as well for Brittany for the $2 donation saying, not Brittany choosing violence. W's in chat for Brittany for the $2 donation saying for butt banana comfort, not crash out fun. Whatever, Brittany. Brittany absolutely chose violence. 100%, without a doubt, chose violence. W's in the chat as well for One Mighty Pin. Oh, wait, I already read that one off. W's in the chat for Kelly Headshot for 30 Stream Street. W's in the chat for Cool Cat for the Say It With Your Chest. W's in the chat for Patty, who gifted a YouTube subscription. W's in the chat for Gravicore, who subscribed. W's in the chat for Gravicore for the 1,000 bits. Let's fucking go. 1,000 bit. It's cool, Santana. I'm just gonna watch on YouTube. Oh, hey, I got you. I sent it over. We're gonna check that out. Like, seriously, we're gonna check it out. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. But I got you. We're gonna definitely check that out. Definitely. I was about to say, we've lost like 200-300 people since you left. I mean, since I sent it. Why wouldn't you get in the box? I literally sent you a request. Look at your screen. There we go.
Hello.
I was trying to stall, but people kept leaving. All right, floor's yours.
Yes. Hello. So, thank you for having me. I just wanted to come up here to talk about what is happening in Sudan. Al Ubaid. I think you have heard of what happened in Al Fasher, right? Santana last year. And so the similar thing is about to happen as well in Al Ubaid, which is a city that is in North Kordofan. It is on the road to Khartoum, hence why it is very important. And this particular city has about 500,000 people who are stuck in it under siege. And all human rights experts are ringing the alarms, but I'm not seeing many people talk about it, like at all. Like whether it is mainstream media, whether it is on social media, I'm not seeing anyone talk about it. And so it is in famine. Sorry, I'm not trying to recollect myself. I just got out of washing my hair. So it is under severe siege pressure right now. It is getting regular drone strikes, and all the access routes in and out of Al Ubaid is has shrunk exponentially. Just yesterday, the RSF had again drone striked a market, I think, or someplace in Al Ubaid. I'll send you the photos as well, like about 12 people. There were 12 casualties. And this has been the case every single day, by the way, for the past couple of weeks. And this is exactly what RSF did. So how they end up attacking a city is that they completely encircle the city, and then they siege it with via drone strikes for a couple of weeks to weaken the city from within. They have struck almost all the important infrastructure. There's barely like healthcare facility. They struck the power performer in the city. So there's power outage there. There's no food. Aid access has become extremely limited. And there's fuel shortage. There's rising food prices. There's barely any medical supplies. Again, when USAID was shut last year, over 80% of the food kitchens in Sudan had already been shut. So that is the level of impact that it had, the abrupt shutting down, the closure of USAID, and now it's even getting worse. When Al Fasher was falling, it was also in a similar situation, and there were about 250,000 people who were still in the city in Al Fasher, and the RSF was able to unalive 60,000 people in 3 weeks, and up until now, 100,000 people are missing. Just 100,000 people are unaccounted for, never seen after that. They're just completely missing. And recently, you guys might wonder, why the hell are we not hearing about this in the mainstream media? And that is because the UAE has massive labor lobbying power. There was an article that was released by The Guardian, and that was Nathaniel Raymond, who is an American human rights investigator at Yale University that has been following the Sudanese G-side since the beginning and has been also even updating with satellite imagery showing the bloodstains from satellite imagery. And he confronted the UK government, the Foreign Office in the UK government, because it was revealed that Ethiopia, who is involved because it is also training RSF members, the entity that's doing the G-side, that the British government had received intelligence that Ethiopia was supporting the G-side in 2024. But the first time that news came out of it was in 2026. And that is because the British government, on behalf or at request of the UAE, has just kept it quiet. It hasn't tried to intervene. It hasn't informed anyone of the intelligence that it had received. On the contrary, it has tried to pressure human rights activists, like, for example, human rights investigators like Nathaniel Raymond, to not even talk about the 60,000 people who were unalived, to downplay the 60,000 number, because they deem it to be a political problem. That's what the Sudanese genocide is. It's a political problem, quote unquote, for these governments in Europe and also for these governments in America, because their ally, the UAE, is the one that's doing the genocide. So they want to continue funding it, by the way. They continue sending military aid to it. America continues sending military aid to it. The European governments continue sending military aid to it. China and Russia as well. But they want the unaliving of Sudanese people to happen in silence. So because they want it to happen in silence, the one thing I urge you guys is to talk about it, to amplify it, to resist against them trying to silence the extermination of people. Currently in Sudan, the largest humanitarian crisis in the world is happening in Sudan, completely ignored. And so I just want to talk about this because it's, I don't know, Santana, it's actually abysmal. Like I don't even know how to talk about this. Like,
you know what I've started to learn more, and like I've been going through like some interesting books. So I finished my Angela Davis book yesterday, and this morning I started the 1619 Project. And the more that I've started to learn, especially when it comes to like global reach, the more that I like realize that people, not only do people not know what's really happening inside of the country, but around the world, like especially here in the US, we have such limited scope of understanding. And even when people do have some higher sense of understanding, it's not something that people like directly pick up on. Like I was stunned, and like I almost feel shameful admitting this, but I think it's important to be able to say this. Like I was stunned that even in Angela Davis' book, which was, recapping, the time frame between 2008 to 2012, where she was talking about the genocide that was occurring in Gaza. And I was thinking to myself, like, I didn't hear about that until, like, I want to say like right before the pandemic, or like that's when I started learning more about it. But I know there's such like history and all this other stuff, but it seems like that, especially here in the United States of America, we just lack the overall full understanding, and then also we lack care, we lack drive. I think we also lack true revolutionaries. It's all so interesting. It's all so interesting. And
yeah. I think the lack of care is manufactured.
You think so?
Yes, it's manufactured because people are conditioned not to care. People are conditioned not to care about, let's say I decide to center Africa and Black people in Africa because I feel like that's the most neglected area in the global South. And there is this active attempt to make it seem as if the African continent is just this dark continent of negatives, and people are just unaliving each other senselessly just because they're uncivilized, and that's why their countries are underdeveloped or yada yada yada. Like, there is this active attempt to make it seem as if these are just unfortunate things that are happening, right? When the famine is man-made. Like you hear the finish your food, their children hungry in Africa. You go to the bus stop or whatever it is, everywhere, even in Europe, and you see posters of like hungry African children, and then it tells you like, donate $1 or €1 a month and save an African family. I don't necessarily think these are done to save people. These are done to normalize Black trauma, because the more you're confronted with it, the more you're like, okay, this is just the norm. That's the norm for African people to unalive. When it comes from Sudan, for example, if you drank soft drinks today, or sodas, or beer, or you ate candy like gumdrops, gummy bears, sugar-free candies, candy-coated nuts, ice cream, sorbet, sherbet, other frozen desserts, if you had any type of dairy products like pudding, dairy desserts, cheese, clotted cream, seasoned nuts, mustard, dried egg products, baked goods, breakfast cereals, if you use lotion, makeup, in all of these things, the ingredient Arabic gum is in it. I don't like to call it Arabic gum because it didn't come from the Arabian Peninsula. It actually comes from the Sahelian region in Africa. And over 80% of the global production of Sudanese gum or Sahelian gum comes from Sudan, which means every single time you've put lotion on your body, you have had a sugary drink, that means that is Sudan around you. Sudan is all around us. The same way with every time you have your phone in your hand, you have Congo in your hand as well. So these things are all around us, but the reason as to why people don't care, or people are conditioned not to care, is because people benefit off of it. You know, the world benefits off of African people like unaliving, and that's the perfect like segue even to your point. Capitalism failure, like it being a failure, is because capitalism necessitates for like Black people to unalive. That's just point blank period. Capitalism depends on Black people unaliving, and that's why you have all general discourse, political discourse, media discourse, just actively dehumanizing Black people to justify this, right? And when it comes to, I wanted to play a clip. I'm not going to show the clip because I know that can lead to restriction, but this was a conference at the Harvard Kennedy School. Nathaniel Raymond, who is the investigator I told you about, who works for Yale, was at this conference. It's called Sudan's Silent Genocide. Sudan's Silent Genocide, an unfolding humanitarian disaster. That's the whole thing. It's about an hour long. I'd highly suggest people to watch it. But I want to play just this part from it, okay? Which is very important. It is a question that is being asked of him from a Sudanese American person.
Thank you so much for having this forum. As a Sudanese national, I believe our conversation is not being had often enough, or even given a light of day in terms of media attention and given just an opportunity to discuss it. So thank you, Sahad, and everyone involved for organizing this. I really appreciate it. My name is Sarah. I'm an Sudanese national, born and raised in Qatar, currently at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, pursuing my master's in education and entrepreneurship. My question is regarding accountability. So Yasser, you've very nicely alluded to the fact that, you know, this war is bigger than just internal conflict. Nathaniel, you've discussed in great detail the depth of what is happening on the ground in Sudan, but I feel like there's not enough conversation happening about the external factors and the external players at play that are kind of allowing this to proceed, the international community's complacency, the external actors that are very much involved but are not being part of the discussion. And instead, we have a rhetoric or a narrative of this is just another African genocide. Africans like to kill each other. So this has kind of contributed to the international complacency regarding what's happening in Sudan. So how much do you feel a reframing of this narrative will help us reach a peace solution? And why are we not doing that as a community? Thank you very much.
Oh,
do you want to take that one?
Sarah, you nailed it. I hate when people talk about Sudan and say forgotten conflict. No, it is a intentionally, willfully ignored one. Let me put it in one sentence. The people who are dying right now in places like North Darfur and elsewhere in Sudan are dying because the United States, Europe, and other allies have made a choice that our diplomatic, economic, and security relations with the United Arab Emirates matters more than their lives. And then, to quote Frederick Douglass, as I do all the time, about his famous quote on the abolition of American slavery, power concedes nothing without demand. There's been no demand here from the American people. 20 years ago, we were chanting in the streets and had lawn signs that said Save Darfur, and people were doing lectures from the pulpit, sermons from the pulpit on Sunday. There's none of that now. And that was even before Gaza. And so the point is that we have no political demand, combined with the fact that we have made a decision. And I know I've been in the rooms. We briefed Security Council 7 times now. I've been to London with the British government, France. I've been doing the shuttle diplomacy. Solving this war with accountability for the role of outside actors, and not only UAE, but primarily UAE on Rapid Support Forces side, Iran, Egypt, Turkey, Russia play on both sides, which is amazing to watch them do it. The point is that this is not a forgotten war, it's an ignored war. And it's a war where we have decided that the people of Sudan, their lives matter less than the larger diplomatic and economic interests at play. That's just the fact of it. And until you all, I haven't been seeing many students out in the street here, start saying something about it, it's not going to change.
Yeah. I felt like that was, I don't know. I agree with him fully. It's something that is being intentionally ignored. And the media is intentionally ignoring it because they value the UAE more. There was an act that was introduced into Congress. I think it was called the Save Sudan act or whatever it was. I'm not sure, but it happened in the beginning of this year. And the GOP rejected it. It kind of like just struck it off because they said that they did not want to implement an arms embargo in the UAE because for them it was much more important for the UAE to be able to defend itself against Iran than what's happening in Sudan. They don't care. So, and I think this is why you're not listening to about it in the mainstream media because it's intentionally being ignored. And also people just don't feel empathy for Black people. That's just, it's like there's a racial empathy gap. Like you see a Black person, you don't necessarily feel like you empathize with them. You're like, okay, well, unfortunate. Sorry. We're just going to sing another We Are the World, We Are the Children song. And then that's it. And yeah, that's why I keep talking about this all the damn time. There was another article that I read that was very, very worrying. And in that article, it basically said that the RSF had detained about 20,000 people in one single prison in Nyala. These were children, these were women, these were elderly, these were just innocent civilians who were detained. And Serbian and Colombian doctors are on the ground harvesting their organs. What do you do to this? What do you say to this? What do you say to the fact that you have Serbians and Colombians who are on the ground at this facility who are harvesting organs from the detainees? And then after they harvest their organs, they bury them secretly to destroy forensic evidence. And then people sit here and say, oh, this is a civil war. This is just a power struggle between two generals. Then why are they there? Why is there a whole harvesting or organ harvesting network that has been built? There was another day when I read that they even made blood banks, Santana. They literally also created blood banks where they're actively detaining Sudanese people and taking their blood. Like, what world do we live in? Not only are they taking the resources, they're taking the land, they're taking the organs, and they're taking the blood. Like, I don't know. And like, Sudan is something, that has been co-opted. People say, oh, good morning, grand rising, my Nubian queen, Nubian king, da-da-da-da-da. Like, Sudanese history is something that is praised. It's a country that had stability. It was a country that took in so many refugees from Syria, from Palestine, from Eritrea, from Ethiopia, from neighboring countries. And now it is just actively being cannibalized. That's what it is. It's being cannibalized by all of these countries around it and by all of these countries in the West too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. But
it's funny. I really wish I could say that I'm surprised by anything that you said, but nothing that you said shocked me in any way.
Yeah.
And
isn't that sad?
Part. Yeah. Like literally, that's the saddest part. None of it shocked me.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I just can't even begin to imagine the level of how Sudanese people must be feeling. Like Sudanese people who are in the diaspora who are practically seeing their people getting cannibalized and nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional, but like that is just the first thing that comes to my mind. It's like, oh my God, like you have Sudanese people all around you. Like you have maybe Sudanese doctors, Sudanese like employees, Sudanese employers, Sudanese students. Like there's so many people around you and you don't even realize how on the inside they're thinking to themselves, I'm nothing but fuel. Like my people are nothing but fuel for this system and nobody even gives a shit. There are no protests. There are no boycotts. You still see people saying, oh, come to Dubai chocolate, Dubai this, Dubai that, and glorifying this entity that is literally cannibalizing Sudanese people. And there was a sham of a conference in April in Berlin, where they were like, oh, we want peace for Sudan. And they were like, we want to end the war in Sudan. We want peace for Sudan. And they invited everybody but Sudanese people. There were no How are you creating a conference claiming that you want peace in Sudan, but you don't even invite any like legitimate representatives from Sudan? Do you know who instead was invited? The UAE. They invited the entity that is literally doing the G-side, but not the people who are being G-sided. Like this is the level of depravity that I can't I don't know. But I just wanted to say that. That's all. If there is anybody that you want to support within Sudan, there is an initiative called Darfur IDP that is in the link tree in my bio. Just, I don't know. I don't even know. There's just so much going on. And the UAE keeps getting weapons from the US, keeps getting weapons from European countries, keeps getting weapons from China, keeps getting weapons from Russia. Gold leaves, resources leave. And then the worst part is, you know what happens to Sudanese refugees who are fleeing this? They become enslaved in Libya. That's the worst thing. These countries come in, they destroy their country, and then the people fleeing this G-side are then being enslaved in Libya or being unalived in Tunisia because the European Union pays these North African countries to prevent as many refugees from crossing the Mediterranean Sea by any means necessary. So they're basically being told, we're going to come to your country, we're going to destroy your country, we're going to steal everything from you, including your blood and organs, and you're not allowed to leave. You'll have to stay there and die in silence. So, yeah. I don't know. I just want to say that. Thank you, Santana.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming up and sharing. I've said this a million times before. You always have, a platform whenever you want to share anything. I think this is important information. I think, like I said, there's a lack of, there's an intentional lack of visibility, and then there's just a lack of empathy and care as a whole. So we need to continue to make sure that we put these things at the forefront and fight to help others. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good day, Santana. I appreciate you for letting me up for these updates anyways.
Absolutely. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, okay?
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you. Dubs in chat for Athena, guys. I think these things are important for us to know. Like, some of these issues and things that we talk about are some of the hardest things to have conversations around, but there's some of the things that are the most necessary. I think a lot of people struggle with the understanding as far as what's happening, but even more so struggle with the ability to have these conversations, because either people take it into a personal senses where they feel like they're being attacked because of the information that's being conveyed, or they just don't know how to respond or engage, right? And so I think there's a lot of things that are missing, and I think it's super important that we continue to highlight all of these things. So absolutely. Dubs in chat for Adam for the $10 donation. Thank you so much for the 10, Adam. I appreciate the hell out of you. Dubs in chat for Danella for the 1. Can I make a suggestion for a one-day prompt? You're supposed to actually, Danella, you got to come to late nights and make the suggestion. Can women not be sexist in the same way that Black people can't be racist? Tell Red I said middle finger. Yeah, no, like they can't be misogynist. But yeah, there's a direct correlation. Absolutely. W's in the chat for B. Hey B, I said it's Mother B. How are you? I'm okay. I just want to bring to your attention to Anna, who's trolling in the YouTube comments. Not sure if you find her, but Anna, but ban Anna. Fuck Anna. Dubs in the chat for Jay. What up, Jay? Hashtag justice for Ducky. You my op. Hashtag but banana FTW. Dubs in the chat for Jay. Over on Twitch, W's in the chat for Lana, who sent a gifted sub. Grabby Core, 100 bits, said all your homies. Hey, Ace. Oh, they're tripping. W's in the chat for Lana. For the 1,000 cheer bits, who said I like birds. I like birds too. W's in the chat for One Mighty Pen for sending out 5 Twitch subscriptions. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we're all caught up. I think we're caught up across the board. Yeah, we are. All right, guys. We're gonna call it here. That's a wrap for this morning, but we will be back for late nights this evening. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. We had a really great late nights last night. If anyone missed it, this is the open forum for community. We had an opportunity to talk about a lot of different things that are impacting and occurring within our community right now. It's just a great opportunity to hear your voice. There was a lot of people that didn't get up. I mean, the boxes were packed, like they were slam packed. So we didn't get an opportunity to get everyone up. So if you want to join the conversation this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. It's a community discussion. We're going to open up and let people's voices be heard. There's a couple of different things that I want to hear from you about. So it's really great. So if you're available, make sure that you're back this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana. That being said, let's call it.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats who get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat. Guys! Pretty solid morning. Not gonna hold you. Pretty solid morning, but we will be back later this evening, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, late nights with Santana, and it is a community conversation. So you're welcome. You're more than welcome to join. So if you want the opportunity to get across anything at all, then make sure you're here and make sure your voice is heard. That being said, I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. It's always fun. You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you for all the gifts, the taps, the likes, the shares. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for being absolutely amazing. I love you all. And as always,